Hey everybody, post-editing Sam here. Hope you guys enjoy our Hunter x Hunter review. Just warning you now, we go through the whole show, we go through every arc, and it's full spoilers, okay? Full spoilers ahead. Okay. Love you. Enjoy the show.
One of the
part
Zodiacs.
of the Zodiac.
Yeah, and there's which again, like there's so many things. This whole thing is pretty much a prologue. All 140 episodes, if you think about it, are a prologue because they haven't even gone to the Dark Continent. And the Dark Continent.
Bring that up. Oh my God! Everyone, take a shot. Jesus freaking Christ!
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Anime Summit Podcast. It's your favorite host of the most, Sam the Bomb, and of course with me every week, Danny.
Hello, hello.
Knock.
Did you guys know that bungee gum possesses the properties of both rubber and gum?
God, dude, come on.
You didn't sound seductive enough.
That was my nerd explanation.
He
You have to be more.
I can't sound like
In-
Hisoka,
in-
Danny. This is my
In
voice.
order for you to act like Hisoka, you gotta sound more confident and more seductive.
Naruto. Yeah, dude, fucking Hisoka's my favorite.
Oh
He's
my.
mad too. I
I
like
love
him.
Hisoka, yeah. Even though he's like really creepy with children.
I went. I know. I went
He's
to.
just after their power.
I went.
That's it.
I went to a box lunch the other day.
Yeah.
Because I had like coupons and stuff, and they had a freaking Hisoka magnet, and I bought it.
Danny's supporting the show one magnet at a time.
You may be wondering why. Well, Danny, why are you buying Hisoka magnets? Because we're talking about Hunter x Hunter today. Dude. Finally, we kept hyping this review up, and we kept
We're only 11 years late.
pushing it back. Yeah, I know, right? And so, like, I had started watching it a couple years ago, like on and off, right? Just like I watched like 13 episodes and forgot about it, and then finished the exam arc and then forgot about it, and then started it up again, got to like the beginning of York New, forgot about it, and then it was on and off, and then somewhere in that time frame that I gave you, Danny started watching it, and then
Yeah, because freaking JD was all like, "You need to watch this. If you watch this, then I'm gonna watch Fruits Basket." I'm like, "All right, you're on."
and then it was just like it was perfect timing because it was like because Nick had been saying for at least I don't know the last 4 or 5 years we need to like review like a big one. Let's do a big one, and they were like, "Oh, well, Sam's you're already watching Hunter x Hunter, so fuck," you know. It's like, okay, shit, let's go. So yeah, dude.
I watched it like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
and then I rewatched. And then I watched the 1999 version up to York New.
That's kind of where
So-
it ends, right?
And then I just spammed YouTube videos nonstop for like a couple days.
the 1999 one ends at York New, right?
Sort of. It has OVAs after, and it goes into Greed Island, I think. So
Because like, oh, okay,
I didn't get that far, but yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, I
have seen 2011. I finished that one.
62 episodes of that one. Okay.
Okay, no shit. I finished this in 2017.
Okay.
I'm looking at my history on here.
Yeah,
Well-
I remember that when I started, you had already finished it, obviously. But like, it ended in 2014, started in 2011. We're talking about the 2011 version today, okay?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was on my decade list. I don't remember where it was. It was pretty high
Yeah.
up though. So
But we will mention things about the 99 one in the manga, obviously. But for purposes of this review, we're reviewing strictly.
I haven't touched the manga. I don't know anything about that.
So I read some of it recently, but like.
All you gotta know is Dark Continent.
Yeah, we will touch on those, but for the purposes of this review, we're just talking about the 2011 one. So, let's get into it, shall we? A bunch of bitches. Links.animesummit.net. That's where you can find everything, where to follow us, where to listen, where to party with Pacho. Pacho is my little brother. He's a fun cat. And it's also what we call Danny in the morning. And then 100 Spotify
Hey.
ratings, please. Yeah, it's so funny. Like, we started calling Danny Pacho, and she was like, "I'm not Pacho." Anyway, when you want to make someone mad, just call him Pacho. Don't even tell him what it means. 100 Spotify ratings, please. Could you get us to 100 Spotify ratings?
We're
'Cause
at
once you-
81.
Okay, that's sick. I did not know.
That's pretty
I did
good,
not know
actually.
that. Yeah. Here's why.
It's hard out
That's
here in podcast
we
land.
need 19 more ratings.
Here's why.
Sam, you know what? If you could just get 1 million YouTube subs, that'd really help us out. Okay.
All right, let me just call my agent. No, here's the thing though, because when you get to 100 ratings on Spotify, it kind of like, enhances your visibility and some other stuff. So that's why we're pushing it so much, and also because once you get us there, we're gonna fucking do a live stream, do some giveaways, play some games, and then we're gonna we're gonna do a podcast of reviewing School Days again, but this time Danny's gonna review it, and we're just gonna watch her tremble and
and yell and be mad.
And be mad because she pre-hates it, so like it's gonna be funny. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do if you get us to 100 Spotify ratings. Also, patreon.com/anime summit. If you become a patron today, that'd be really amazing. And I'm working on chapter 2 of Fists of Summit. And I'm uploading like a little behind the scenes audio of chapter 2 and how I'm doing the rest of the chapters. Not a lot of action's happening in these next couple chapters, but it's only a matter of time before Nick comes in, wrecks everyone. It's gonna be sick. So I've already done some preliminary sketches of Nick's moves, and the big like move he does at the end is super dope. And if you want to read that,
it's the SpongeBob. I just bring it around town.
If you want to read that
Oh
manga,
my god.
you need to become a patron because only patrons can read it. So, yeah, dude.
And it's going on hiatus, just like Hunter x Hunter.
And yeah, I'm gonna do the chapter right when Nick shows up before the big fight, and then just go on hiatus.
Draw a picture of yourself holding your back.
Yeah.
Like Togashi.
Yeah, dude. Okay, listener question of the week. Nick, let's go.
Oh, shit. I haven't even looked at it. This is typical. Every week, I don't look at it until I read it.
Dude.
All right. I should prepare more. What staffer... This is from Sen. And they say, what staffer would you like to see work in a different genre? For example, Ishihama directing Horimiya. This is the worst question to not prepare for, by the way. Which staffer? Which one's Ishihama? All right. That could be that could be like animator, musician, director, anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Storyboard or character designer. Yuki Kadra does music.
I actually would love if Igarashi did, like, okay, those like spoof fantasy animes like Guru Guru and Dragon Half and Konosuba, and I would love to see Igarashi do something like that. That would be funny. Just like a comedy fantasy, really dorky. I don't know. I would just love to see that. I like Igarashi, so that'd be really funny. And I got Guru Guru on the brain right now because I was thinking of our Decade Spotlight like preparation thing, and that was one of the season 2 is one of the ones in that decade. But anyway, I would love to see Igarashi or like, or even like fucking dude. I can't even think of.
Danny doesn't want to see Hideaki Anno in Romance.
Oh, you know what?
You know why? Because he did His and Her Circumstances, Danny.
Dude.
And he left. He ditched him.
Yeah, well.
he ditched him. The guy who does
Anno couldn't deal with romance. That's why he left.
Oh,
he wasn't up to
who's
task.
Who's the lady from Kyoto Animation? I forget her name. Let's just do this.
I was gonna say I would also like, and I can't remember his name, but the guy who did like God of High School and Jujutsu Kaisen. I would love to see him do something. I don't know what. I would actually, what would be cool? I would love to see him do like something from Baki. That would be cool. Do a Baki thing or something.
I mean, I feel like that
cool.
would be the same genre. It's fighting.
That's true. That's true.
You gotta switch genres.
That's true. Sungwoo Park.
I would
Sorry,
want to
that's his
see
name. I just looked it
Junichi
up.
Sato do some like action
Isn't
shonen.
Sungwoo Park like a Korean director?
Yes, he's Korean.
Didn't he do like Squid Game or something, or is that Parasite?
No, he was.
That's a different person.
He's been working in anime since like 2015, 2013 or something. But like, he was the director for God of High School and Jujutsu Kaisen, and Jujutsu Kaisen 0. But I would love to see him do like something. I don't know. Yeah, I get maybe not another action one, but it'd be cool if he did like, maybe if he did like something cyberpunk. I don't know, man. That'd be cool. He was a director for Garo Vanishing Line, so I think he could do it. I don't know.
I agree. What about Danny? What do you think, Danny?
I would want maybe Junichi Sato to do some sort of
Kai sneezed just now.
yeah. Maybe like either Junichi doing more of like a romantic comedy versus like that magical girl, because that's what he's mainly known for, is like a lot of the magical girl kind of settings and tones and
Arya.
stuff. And Arya, yeah. Like I would definitely want him to step aside from like the slice of life magical girl setting and do like a romantic comedy kind of similar to Kagura-sama.
Kaguya.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Kaguya. Or it would be really weird for Sato to do like Attack on Titan kind of show, and just
that'd be hilarious.
And just make it all like magical girl or sparkly transformations kind of thing. It'd just be so random.
When the Titans transform, they go into the Sailor Moon.
Like having freaking
and they're spinning
having
around.
freaking Eren Yeager like literally do like a Sailor Moon transformation into his Titan form.
Prism power activate.
It'd be so bad. But yeah.
That's a good one. I would pick. Look, Sen, I don't know all the staffers. So I'm gonna pick a director because I don't know all these animators.
Pick your favorite.
Like you do.
Pick your favorite.
Ishihama
who
is a
did
director.
Ping Pong the animation.
No. I'm gonna do Naoko Yamada. She did Keion and Koi no Katachi, Violet Evergarden. Well, she helped on that one. Anyway, she did a bunch of Kyoto Animation stuff. I'm gonna put her in charge of Berserk, redoing the whole thing. Let's go. Guts, instead of walking with the stick up his butt, Guts is pigeon-toed now. What do you think about that?
It's hilarious.
That's weird.
It's funny. It's funny to me.
Ooh, imagine it though, the Guts Griffith connection. That would be good. She'd be good at that.
Mm-hmm. It's funny.
Sam is literally
I'm like, all right.
laughing hysterically over there.
That's hilarious. All right, waifu and husbando. God damn it.
Waifu is Komugi from the
Best girl.
Chimera arc.
Did you know she cheated at the game? She had outside help.
She had
What do you
wiretap
mean?
on her thigh.
Yeah, she had a wiretap up her butt, like that one guy who cheated at chess.
Well, he claims he cheated. Nobody knows if he did or not. I mean, he used to cheat, and then Magnuson accused it of him like after.
Anyway, that's how Komugi won in what were they playing? Shogi? No, they were playing something.
They were playing
else.
Gungi, which
They
is
were
like
playing Gungi.
yeah.
Gungi.
And she's like literally like the master of Gungi.
That's like super chess, right?
I don't know if it was a
Pretty
real
much.
game or not. I think it was made for.
I think it was made up.
The game was made for Hunter x Hunter. It's not a real game.
Yeah, it's like super chess, pretty much.
Yeah, it's basically super chess. It's like shogi chess and super checkers.
And she cheated.
She cheated.
I don't think she cheated. I think you two are the only ones that think she cheated, but I don't think she did.
Nick cheated. Nick cheated. Nick cheated.
I have a need for cheat.
For cheat. Yeah, okay, Daniel, what about the husbando?
Husbando is Killua.
Best boy.
Yeah.
Wait, Killua, I thought you were going to pick Hisoka.
I thought about it, but I mean...
Oh, yeah, Killua and Hisoka always win the polls, I think.
Yeah.
It's those two, and then Gon is third. I'm going to call him Gon because it sounds funny.
Gone, baby, gone.
He's gone with the wind.
So...
Killua, though. Good pick.
All right, everyone slap Nick for that one.
Some add a slap effect.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
There, I
yeah.
did it with my mouth there.
I don't know nothing about no Nen powers.
Dude. All right. Let's break it down now.
Right, the moment is here now.
The leader of the bunch, you know them well. It's Gon and Killua here to kick some tail. Hunter Hunter. First they start in the exam arc, and then they have a lark.
All right. Anyway,
I don't fucking know, dude. I can't make shit up.
so no, let's just jump into it, dude. Hunter Hunter. (2011). Okay, this is a 2011 one.
Oh yeah,
100
that OP is playing right now.
148 episodes, and this was Studio Madhouse.
Madhouse.
In
Back
the
when they were
middle
good.
of
The street. Madhouse.
Madhouse. Directed by Hiroshi Kojima. He also storyboarded a lot of it not by himself, but and is one of the key animators. Music by Yoshihisa Hirano. Chief animation director Takahiro Yoshimatsu. Based on the manga by Yoshihiro Togashi. Serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump since 1998.
Yeah, and they're not done yet because he keeps going on hiatus.
The latest chapter, I believe, came out in 2019. And
Jesus, really?
Yes, and he just...
There's a new one coming out soon, right?
Yes.
Yes, he just announced his return literally like a couple of months ago or a month ago ago. And they already have like a ship date for the next volume.
He's been in traction for 3 years.
Well, because he has back problems.
Just hanging upside down.
Yeah, so...
decompressing his back.
So basically he came out and said, yeah, so I've been dealing with these really horrible back problems where I have to like I can't sit at a desk, like I couldn't use the bathroom on my own and whatever, right? And so it was really bad, and I kind of,
Sounds like excuses to me.
And okay. But anyway, he's been posting sketches on his Twitter. He even posted a sketch of himself drawing in bed, because I guess that's how he did some of these next chapters. That being said, Yoshihiro Togashi, it's okay. So I'm just gonna say this right now, just because, so we can get the manga talk out of the way. And not that not that it matters too much, right? But like, so the first anime came out in '99. It was paced a little longer. You know what I mean? It was dragged out a little more, from what I hear. I don't know. I haven't watched it. Nick watched some of it. The 2011 version, is kind of like new era anime, right? Where they kind of are doing it.
Yeah, it's like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment.
Trying to do right by the manga, like do more closer to the source material. And this is 148 episodes, and it covers everything up to like, I don't even know what chapter. I had the number right in front of me and I lost it. But the chapters that it goes up to is
they get to the 13th Hunter Chairman arc.
Yeah, the election
they
arc.
Stop they stop right before the Dark Continent Expedition arc.
Right. And so the reason why that I thought that was important to say was because like I only recently discovered, I knew nothing about the manga. I only recently discovered that what the 2011 anime goes up to is the story of Gon and Killua, and that's over. You don't even like see them after.
Yeah,
this.
they take a back seat apparently for a little bit.
Yeah, no, yeah, you don't fucking. The last thing you see of Gon is like he goes back home and he can't use Nen anymore, and he's still trying to decide if he wants to like relearn Nen and get strong again, or just like be a normal person, because his whole goal was to find his dad, and spoiler alert, he found him. Yeah, but like
he just plays Greed Island
all day. All day. Yeah.
I found the chapters of the 13 Hunter Chairman election arc, and the chapters, the arc starts on chapter 319 and it ends at 339.
Okay. So then after that is like they talk about the Dark Continent and beyond Netero and whatever, right? So there's more Phantom Troop shit, obviously. And Gon and Killua has to take care of Alika now, and Ging is living a normal life on Whale Island. So like you don't really see them. Like I was talking to some people who have read the manga all the way and are caught up, and you don't really see them at all anymore. Now it kind of focuses on the Zodiacs and Jing, and they're fighting beyond Netero on the Dark Continent, and then some other stuff. And I guess apparently that's just the way the story is going right now. You don't see them. I think you see Kurapika later and things like that, but like the anime that we're talking about, the 2011 anime, stops literally right at the end of what is so far known as Gon and Killua's story. So like, I for some reason thought that Gon was the main character throughout the whole entire time.
He is for this chunk.
He is for this chunk, and
Him and Killua.
Him and Killua, yeah. And I thought he was going to be the whole time, but that's not the case. And apparently, it's one of those things where like that's where he was going to end it, but then he thought he had more to tell, so he kept telling more and more and more, and then he went on hiatus. So I'm not sure what you would call this other section of Hunter x Hunter, if you call it anything, but like,
Dark Continent.
Well, I mean, that's the name.
Turns out everything is because of the Dark Continent.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like not on the map or something, but like
no, the Dark Continent is just they have like their map of the human world, but in reality, the human world is a bunch of islands inside of a huge ocean that's surrounded by a dark continent. Pretty much.
Oh, really?
I think that's kind of what it is. I might have the details a little scuffed, but
okay. Well,
and the dark continent is just like it's like basically Attack on Titan times 10. It's like crazy dinosaur shit,
right?
And like huge. Like this is how the Chimera ants came to the human world. Like somehow they got to the human world,
right?
And they're ants in the dark continent, and like they had so much trouble killing them in the human world,
right?
So, yeah.
So well, that's interesting. But so like, cause so I was asking people, hey guys, like, how does it? The anime ended really finale-ish. Is that how it is in the manga? And they were like, yeah, you don't see Gon and Killua like after this. I was like, oh, okay. Because like when I was watching the anime, I was like, wow, they really made it seem like this was the end of everything, even though the manga goes past this. So why are they making it seem like this? And no, that's really how it happens in the manga, because you don't see Gon and Killua after this for like ever. Or well, at least if they come back, then we don't know, But like, I guess Togashi's, he's still working on more of it, obviously. But you do see Jing do stuff and fight bitches, and then the Zodiacs and whatever, and then Kurapika, because he still is trying to go after the Phantom Troop and stuff.
Yeah, it's like Kurapika and Leorio apparently.
Yeah, and Leorio becomes part of the Zodiacs.
Because I mean, in my opinion,
they kind of ditched Leorio.
I just want to say my point. I did feel like the ending was pretty unfinished, in my opinion. It definitely felt incomplete for me. The way it ended, it may have seemed like it was like a good conclusion, but to me, I felt like it was a little incomplete. And of course, also in the very first arc, which is the Hunter exam, you are introduced to these four characters: Gon, Killua, Kurapika, and Leorio. And once the exam was over, they kind of go to their separate ways, and like then now the story is just focused on Gon and Killua, and then you do see Kurapika for a short bit during the Phantom Troop, and then you don't see him ever again. So to me, I definitely felt less of a connection towards Kurapika and Leorio throughout the whole show, because you don't really they don't get their arc per se, and
yeah, they get shorter ones.
Yeah, and their story and
York knew is kind of Kurapika's moment.
Yeah, and same thing with Leorio. So
he's in the Hunter exam and a little bit of York.
Yeah, and then
a little bit at the
end. Right, and I'm just
Kinda.
all like, I really like these characters, but I would have loved to see more. That's kind of what my perception throughout the whole show was. It's like, where are these characters? I want to see more of these characters. Like, yeah, some of these people that we're seeing in these different arcs are important for this part, but I felt very disconnected towards the other two characters of the story.
Oh, you don't like Gon and Killua?
It's not that I don't like them. I mean, Killua is definitely one of my favorites out of the two of them. But
you just want to
Gon
see
is
more.
a himbo.
Say it again, Sam.
You just wanted to see more of the characters we were introduced
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
We get it. We got you.
So to me, I felt like it was so much of just Gon and Killua, and I'm just like, okay, I'm good with what I have right now. I just felt very overwhelmed, and it's like, can we move on to like someone else for a little bit?
Well, that's a good opening statement. I get it. I get what you mean, and I think we should walk through the arcs here, kind of, and I want to touch on what you just said when we get there, because I think knowing what I know now, I disagree a little bit, but I agree with some of what you said for sure.
And I mean, like, coming from like just watching the anime, not like reading the manga as well, I'm pretty sure it's probably a little bit different in the manga.
No, I've never read the manga, and it's not that different. This is like pretty close. What we watched is pretty close to it. So I read some of it, just to like get an idea, because I thought that too. I thought, well, this seems weird, but no, that's literally how it is.
Yeah. Guys, before we actually start, I just posted on the show sheet of story arc breakdown and like chapters and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair point, and let's just break it down a little bit. The show starts with Gon and on Whale Island, where he lives with his aunt Mito, and he is like, I want to become a hunter, and he said if I catch this really huge, crazy-ass fish, that you let me go take the hunter exam. And they only hold the hunter exam every, like, so often,
Isn't it every year? Is it once a year?
It's like once or twice a year or something like that. And then, so he goes to take the hunter exam. On the way there, he meets, like Danny said, he meets Kurapika, Killua, and Leorio. He meets Kurapika and Leorio on the ship on the way there, which apparently is part of the test. And then he meets Killua at the very first part of the exam with Satots, the Butler Face Johnson.
Butler Face Johnson. Not to be confused with Killua's Butler Face Johnsons.
Yeah, not to be confused with those Butler Face Johnsons. But so then here they go. Here's the exam, and they basically just have to go through all these different parts of this
there's
big
various
area.
tests.
Yeah,
it's fun. I like the hunter exam a lot.
it's really cool.
It's
Yeah.
definitely
At the end of it-
one of the strongest arcs of the series.
Yeah. And
Well, it's funny because a lot of people disagree. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's slow, it's boring, it's like the same as other shonen."
I mean,
But like, I don't know.
to
I think it's a good intro.
I mean, I can get on the bandwagon for some people that is a little slow, but in
it
my
might be just like the first couple episodes that
maybe,
are slow.
but honestly, I was more captivated and more like, okay, what's gonna happen with this show versus like what happens in Naruto or even Black Clover for that matter. This definitely starts off very quickly, especially right after Gon catches that big fish. So
I think people are comparing this arc to all the other arcs in Hunter x Hunter, which a lot like they get crazier as they go. So they're like, "Oh, this one's not so great," but it actually is pretty good.
yeah.
And Togashi, the author, he did Yu Yu Hakusho. He created that as well, so he knows how to make, like, he knows how to hook you in.
Yeah.
And he does a good job here.
yeah,
I think
agree.
both shows are comparable. Like Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter, I think they're both like equally good in different ways.
I agree with that, and yeah, it's really cool because it kind of sets up like, it doesn't show you the power system right away, but it kind of shows you like where everyone's at in terms of like.
Well, they don't even know the power system.
Yeah, they don't even know. You don't know
Gon and
that.
Killua don't even know
You
it.
don't even know that till later. Yeah, but like, it kind of shows you like how they're.
It's kind of like JoJo's actually. They start out where they don't even understand. They don't know what stands are.
Yeah. They set up. What they do set up is kind of like how you will see like some fights throughout the whole entire show, which is like what I like about which is one of the things I like about it is like the battles are like very witty. They're like, but if I do this, he's gonna do this, and if I think he thinks he's gonna do that, then I'm gonna do this, and it's really cool.
They got to use strategy. It's not. There's no power friendship. No, like just stupid overpowered like. Like as much as I love Dragon Ball Z, it gets pretty stupid.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So,
yeah, it's very
just
much
like as an example. And I haven't seen Bleach, but people don't love. I don't know. I shouldn't even comment on Bleach, but One Piece. I don't know how One Piece fights are, but
One Piece is a little better because like the power system in One Piece is like, it's not really a power system. It's like you either have double powers or you don't. You either can use hockey or you can't.
okay.
And hockey is like a really important thing. Hockey is kind of like Nen in a weird way.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's the
yeah,
the chakra.
I would say Hunter x Hunter is probably the most like balanced power system out of like Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, and
Naruto.
Naruto, yeah, maybe Naruto, because Naruto is weird, right? Because they basically have like a more basic version of Nen and Ki put together, and it's chakra, right? It's like, oh, well, I ran out of chakra, so I can't do shit now. Okay, well then I'm just gonna stab you, shink. You know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah.
Whereas like in Hunter x Hunter, every character's smart enough to like walk away if they can't fucking win, right?
Yeah.
So
Not
yeah.
only that, but like with the Nen power system, people are eligible to learn say someone's, an enhancer. An enhancer is able to learn what is it?
Transmuter yeah.
Or a conjure
Yeah.
or something like that. Like
because it's adjacent to on the chart. Yeah, it's
right,
like
yeah.
Yeah, there's a 6-point chart. You have emitters, enhancers, transmuters, conjurers, manipulators, and then specialists, which are very rare.
a unique effect.
They,
yeah,
they can kind of do anything, but sort of
some specialists can do a little bit of everything
with certain criteria having to be met. Like Kurapika can do it
Yeah.
for a short time for certain things. But yeah, none of this is in the first arc.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry.
Let's go to the first arc.
Yeah,
then.
anyway.
The Hunter exam.
So the Hunter exam arc, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good way to, like what Nick said. I agree with both Danny and Nick. Like, I think it's a very good first arc. It sets up like kind of how you'll see people go against each other for a while. And
oh shoot, I haven't seen the Chunin exam in Naruto. How does this compare to that?
I think this is better.
Yeah.
Because the Chunin exam is like the Chunin. Oh, sorry, Danny, go ahead.
No, it's been a very long time since I've seen the Chunin exam, but from what
I know they have to cheat. From
what I remember, I think there is definitely a lot more critical thinking in the Hunter exam versus the Chunin exam.
They do a lot of teamwork too. Leorio gets carried. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, basically what Danny said is like the Chunin exam is literally just that. It's an exam to
They
see
don't really
how good
give
you
you
are.
they don't like tell you anything. Like the preliminary phase when they're on the boat, like that's literally when the exam starts. And
In Hunter x Hunter.
yeah.
But that's why it's cool because it's designed to literally like eliminate as many people as possible.
Right, because I think
like
there's
being
like
a hunter is like a big deal.
yeah, there's like I don't even know how many people apply for the Hunter exam, but I think it's like over.
It's like 400 or something.
I mean,
it's a
I
lot.
think it's in the thousands, and that way.
Yeah, it was over 400 because somebody had like a 400 something pin, right? Didn't they?
Yes, yeah, something like that. It's like in the thousands in the beginning, and the boat purposely went on like really rough route on the seas to make people sick and like leave.
Yeah.
To get rescued by another boat. Yeah, and it's like if they leave, then they're already eliminated. It's like it's like a pre-screening almost.
Yeah, and then there's the mind-boggling 2-choice quiz that they have to do.
Yeah.
Which, like, Leorio was so sure of himself that, he started, questioning Kurapika and Gon's situation with the whole thing and stuff. So, and then there was, like, the thing that was going on with the magical beast. They can, like...
Magical beast.
Yeah, the Kiroko family, the little bunny
like
people,
the foxy bunny people.
Yeah,
that can transform,
yeah. That's another.
I don't remember that at all.
That's another
Don't remember that at
quiz
all.
part.
Okay, but yeah, they had to do quizzes and feats of strength and skill and stamina and all that shit.
Yeah, there's a part where they have to fight against these prisoners that are from a really scary prison, and yeah.
That was cool because they had to like strategize how to like save time.
Yeah.
Because they only had a certain amount of time to get down to the bottom of the tower.
Oh yeah, they have to like do it quicker. Yeah, and the games that they had to play against these prisoners.
And the
were,
prisoners were betting their prison sentence time to like to gain more time for themselves.
Yeah.
And that was the mind games there were really cool.
It was like the
That's how
third
powerful-
phase.
Leorio was actually kind of badass there.
That's how powerful hunters are in this world. It's like they're able to like go up to the government and be like, "Yeah, we need these prisoners for this, and we're going to reduce their time if they do." And they're just like, "Okay."
Yeah, hunters basically have like the key to every city.
Yeah,
they have like a
pretty
blank.
much.
They have like a blank check to do anything
Yeah.
almost.
And so anyway,
yeah.
it whittles down to just like 8 of them, and then that it just becomes a straight up tournament right there, like a combat tournament.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Which
and
it's funny because. Go ahead.
oh well, I was
sorry,
gonna
Dave,
say
go
which
ahead.
With that tournament, if you are able to get your opponent to like forfeit, that's it. You're able to pass the exam. Kind of.
yeah, you don't.
Yeah, and they were strategically forfeiting.
Yeah,
one of them was.
You don't necessarily have to like beat them. You can just whatever.
Yeah. My I will say my personal favorite out of the whole Hunter exam arc was the game that Netero was playing with Gon and Killua with like if you
they had to touch the
had
ball.
to either touch him or catch the ball before they arrive to the tower, like to the island.
They also had to make him use his other arm and his other hand.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
his
yeah.
other arm and his other leg because he was only using one leg and one arm.
Because around that time, it was still you didn't know too much about Killua. Like you knew he was a little bit mischievous, and that's when you find out that he has like assassin blood in him and stuff. And you also see that like Killua is like if someone pisses him off, he's gonna kill you. So
he's gonna Killua them.
Killua.
Yeah. So speaking of which, that's how the Hunter exam arc ends. Is Gon wins by his opponent forfeiting, and he gets his license. And
Gon's superpower is that everybody likes him.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, straight up. And then Killua gets disqualified because he kills his opponent because one of the people at the end was Illumi, his brother, and his brother like coaxed him into like killing his opponent and getting
And
disqualified.
does Hisoka not get his license either?
He gets
No,
his
Hisoka
license.
he forfeits.
And
I know he was disqualified the year before because he killed a whole bunch of people. So
I'm pretty sure Hisoka forfeits.
yeah, but either way, like
Oh no, he
forfeits,
doesn't
but
forfeit. Yeah, sorry, you're right. No, you're right. He.
oh, you know what? I
just-
think all of them except one were gonna get the license,
Yeah.
and Killua did not. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they all got it except Killua. Yep, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
sorry,
Got
you're
it.
right, Danny.
It's like a reverse tournament.
He forfeits the first match because like you're supposed to lose twice. You have to lose twice.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he wins the rest of them.
Yeah, because there
Yeah.
was a point where he was gonna fight Kurapika, but he forfeits that match with Kurapika.
We should. I'm just gonna quickly mention like who each character is because we haven't said that yet. Hisoka is like this. He's like this murderous clown guy, but he's
a
also
magician.
like
And he's hot.
he's
and
a
you
clown
see his
magician, and he's sexy.
and you see his booty.
Yeah, you do. It's hot.
He gets very turned on by power levels, and he wants to save Gon and especially Gon mostly to battle him later on so he can enjoy the battle. He's kind of like a Saiyan in a way. He's kind of like Goku or Vegeta. But and then you have Gon and Killua. Gon is like he's like the himbo protagonist. He's like very upbeat and like curious about things, and he's very strong. He's just like strength. That's pretty much his thing. He has a fishing rod in the first arc, and then Killua has he's assassin like you guys mentioned, and he's kind of like this sheltered kid who's also an assassin. And then you have Leorio is like this. He wants to be a doctor so he can save people. Like I think he lost a family member or somebody. Was it a family member or
I don't know. I don't think
like
you
a
really
coworker? Anyway.
you don't really find out too much of Leorio's background.
In the 99 version, that they gave a flashback to where he was like, "Oh, I didn't save this person. Now I got to become a doctor." So anyway, that's what he wants to do. And he's like a tall, lanky guy, and he's like the comic relief pretty much in the group. which is great. And I think that's what was missing from a. If you could add one thing, it'd be nice to have him in more of the arcs. But yeah, and then Kurapika is like super serious, and he is a part of the. Which clan is it called? What's the name of the clan?
I already forgot the name of the clan,
Oh,
but they all have these scarlet eyes.
Red-eyed People Clan. It is the. Let's see.
Kurta
Holy
clan.
Kurta clan.
He's
There
a
we go.
Kurta, that's right.
Okay, so the Kurta clan was massacred by the
Phantom
spiders, right?
Yes.
The Phantom
By the
Troop.
Phantom Troop.
Yeah.
And so Kurapika's he wants to become a hunter so he can get revenge on them. That's pretty much it. And he's like he's extremely smart and strategic. He's kind of like the brains of the operation of the group of 4.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are kind of the main 4. And Hisoka's in there too. But yeah, my favorite part of the hunter exam before we move on was where they had to capture each other's discs.
Oh, their
Or their
badges,
name tags
their
or whatever.
name badges.
Yeah, their badges.
Yeah,
just had
that
a
was
number on it.
fun.
That was fun because like you had and they also had a 5th member in their group. Hisoka was by himself and he was doing his own thing and everyone was scared of him. But like this group of 4 also had another guy who would show up. I forgot his name. He was like this. He was just like a scumbag, and he kind of sucked.
Oh,
but
I know who
he
you're
called himself
talking
the
about.
rookie
He
killer.
Would he's like the rookie killer or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the
rookie crusher.
Rookie
sorry,
Crusher,
rookie
yeah,
crusher.
there
in
we
the
go.
first
Tonpa. He's
Yeah.
like a pudgy guy.
Yeah.
in the first phase, he would give people soda, be like, "Here, man, have a soda," and then the soda gave him diarrhea, and they would get
Yeah.
They get knocked out right
He would
away.
basically sabotage rookie. That was like his hobby.
Yeah.
Was to do that, and he's been in the exam for like 25 years or something.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like the hunter exam was fun. Like I thought it was a really fun arc. I think it's a little bit underrated in the hunter fandom.
So the reason why I mentioned Killua getting disqualified is because he goes home, and that is the next arc, which is the Zoldyck family arc, and this is it kind of it's weird because it counts as like the end of the hunter exam arc a little bit before it goes into the Heavens Arena, but so Gon is like, well, dude, Killua's badass, let's go get him. Like I want to hang out with Killua, you know? Like, so Kurapika,
Gon and Leorio
go.
Power of
They go to his
friendship.
house.
Let's get our friend back.
Well, they fucking,
This is the one time.
they fucking get to the dude's fucking house, and their complex is this huge mansion, huge
It's a
piece
mountain.
of
They,
land.
They're
like, own the
freaking. They're
mountain.
freaking.
Yeah, they live in a
like
mountain.
tours for the mansion too.
Yeah, it's really funny because like they're an assassin family, so you'd think they'd want to keep it under wraps, but like everybody knows who they are.
Yeah, everyone knows who they are. Like nobody fucks with them. That's how dangerous they are. And
Yeah, like
so-
later on in York New, they're like they meet up with one of the Phantom Troop and they're like, "Oh, we live here. Here's my card."
Yeah,
Just tells them where they live.
and so basically, like to open the gates of the testing gates, you have to like put one hand on each side, right? And it's like if
You gotta be strong as fuck.
you gotta be strong as fuck to open them, and they get through it, and it's all these fucking things to like get into the damn house, and so the butlers be testing him and shit, and it's this big thing. It's really fucking cool, but like Killua like finds out that they're trying to get him, and they're like torturing Killua because they're mad at him, right, or whatever.
Yeah, because he ran
And he's like-
away.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
you learn about why Killua is the way he is because his family's fucking
Fucked up.
weird.
They put their kids through like this intense, crazy shit, and that's why they're all strong. And it's funny because I forgot the fat brother's name, Maluki. I think his name is.
yeah.
He is like he chained up Killua and is whipping the shit out of him, and Killua looks like he's like actually hurt. But then he hears that Gon's coming, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he just gets down. He's like, "Are you done, dude? I'm gonna leave." Wait, I'm not
Well,
done.
that's because Killua has the electric power,
Yeah,
or that's his Nen power. It turns out.
yeah, and it's really funny, dude. I thought that was a cool little in between like arc between this and the Heavens Arena, because you discover and it shows you like how crazy Killua is. It's like a way to kind of tell his backstory
I mean,
with like
the
telling an actual
whole-
story to the current thing.
The whole Zoldyck family is just really interesting. From like
Yeah.
the butlers to the magical beasts that are within the forest to get to the Zoldyck mansion.
Yeah.
Mike, that freaking huge ass wolf thing. That the like one of the butlers, he's like a security person, and he's all like, if you can get Mike's great like blessing, and like he finds you that you're not a threat, then you can go to the mansion and stuff. And like Gon meets this huge ass wolf thing, and it's literally like a little puppy, and like Gon just starts like rubbing it and everything like that.
It's a family dog, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
the himbo. He's a himbo.
He's a himbo, dude. Everyone loves Gon, yeah. Well, like, and then they say later too.
The ladies on Whale Island. He was talking to Killua. He's like, yeah, the ladies loved me on Whale Island.
Yeah. Have you ever been on a date before? He's like, not really, but like I know a thing or two because
Wait, no, that's like way pet.
Not
like,
really,
like
but I've
that's
banged
a
100
whole
broads.
other arc. We can get to that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway.
Oh God, I wonder. I got to ask you guys a question about the Heaven's Arena. I want to get to it.
Well, we can get to it now because there's not much else to say about the Zoldyck part.
Yeah, the
but,
Zoldyck
like,
one's pretty short. They meet his family.
Yeah.
Kill his family.
And then basically Killua was like, Dad, you're being a dick. Okay, Gon's my best friend, and you're being kind of an asshole right now.
Yeah.
And then his dad goes, you know what? Never betray your friends. Never rat on your friends. Always stay by their side. Promise me you'll do that. And Killua was like,
You don't
yes.
welch on a bet, Dean.
Yeah. And
You don't welch on a bet.
And then Killua was like, yeah, of course. Gon's a badass. And he's like, okay, fine, you can go. So he goes. And then...
I wonder if he knew that Gon was Jing Freaks' son.
I have no idea.
He probably did.
He probably
did.
Everyone knows Jing.
Because Jing Freaks actually, like, he hung out with the Zoldycks too, I think.
I think he did at one point. I think they say that, but I don't remember when. But from there, Leorio and Kurapika are like, well, let's meet back at York New because I'm going to do my own shit. It's like, all right, fine. And then...
This is a cool arc. This is one of the better arcs.
Yeah, and then Killua and Gon are like, well, what do we do? It's like, well, we need fucking money. Let's get some fucking money, dog. It's like, all right, let's go to the Heaven's Arena. We can train at the same time. And
Easy.
Heaven's Arena is really cool because it's this combat tournament up this tower. The higher you get up on the floors is like where your rank is and how strong you are.
Yeah, there's like 200 floors, give or take.
There's
Yep.
four. There's like
200.
more than that. I thought there was more than that because like Killua got
There's
stuck
more
at
than
200. Yeah.
200 is like the cutoff for knowing Nen.
Yeah, because Killua, the last time Killua did the Heaven's Arena arc was like...
He was 6 years old, and his dad's like, all right, you can't come home until you get to the 200th floor.
Yeah, and he was going to go beyond it, but he got stuck. So, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so they go back to the Heaven's Arena, and they get up the floors, the first couple floors pretty quick. I think they jump straight to 100 floors just because of, like, how badass they were in the beginning. And then they tried to get past the 200th, but the hallway is being blocked by Hisoka. And Hisoka's Nen aura was so strong that they were
It was
like
menacing. JoJo menacing.
Well, he
Yeah,
was
they were
all
like-
if you're not allowed to like come to this floor unless you can withstand my Nen ability kind of thing.
And it actually is an ability. It's like a physical barrier for them. Like they can't get through
Yeah,
it
yeah.
until they've
Yeah.
mastered certain aspects of Nen. It's like Nen, Ten, Ren. There's like a bunch of things.
if they forcibly tried to pass that aura like on their own without any of it, they could have died. So like it's comparable to Royal King's hockey in One Piece, where you just like fucking glare at them and they fall over. It's literally kind of like that. And so like
give them the stink eye.
and so Gon and Killua meet Wing, who's like a Nen master, and like they fight his student. Gon fights his student Zushi, who is like a karate guy, and he goes, "Os!"
Os!
Yeah.
And then Gon and Killua keep doing that.
Yeah.
I like how they just kind of joined up and they're like, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. Which is like it's like a karate yell for like Roger, like "Os!" But anyway.
Yeah, I think Killua had to fight Zushi, right? But He was using Nen pretty much, and Killua was like, "Why doesn't he die? Like, why doesn't he fall down?"
Killua just
Yeah.
knocked him out though.
And then that's partly why they started training
Yeah.
with him because he had to figure that
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is where Nen gets explained, and Nick kind of explained it really well earlier, but
I don't know that much. It's complicated.
It's very complicated.
it's very complicated. But what I would tell you to do is that there's somebody out there on the Hunter x Hunter Reddit who made like a square chart, like a lateral, linear, and lexical chart kind of, and it's kind of like the the political graph thing, like the 4 political squares, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that, except this thing explains it way more better than the 6-point system, in my opinion.
Oh, you got that link? Oh, here it is.
I could actually here. I'll post the image that I'm looking at.
Oh, I'm looking at the fandom. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I had a Google search pulled up, but yeah, there's a bunch of different. There's like we said, there's 6 different categories.
Right.
I guess I can explain what they do. So enhancement strengthens object or the person.
Yep.
Transmutation, you can change the quality or aura to match something else. Conjuration, you can create objects for an aura. Manipulation, you control, animate and you can control objects. Emission, you can detach aura from the body. That one's weird. And then specialization is unique effect. And actually, everybody can do everything except for specialization, but you're going to be at a much lower percentage.
Depending on like where adjacent you are.
Yeah.
So like
Karapika had a teacher at one point, and the teacher explained that to him with math, and he's like, yeah, if you put all of your effort into enhancement, you're only going to be at 60% or whatever percent he said.
Yeah.
And if the other person is 100%, you're probably not going to win. So, but you still kind of can if you're like super smart about it, because it's not like Dragon Ball Z. It's not just like it's not a simple number like other. I'm gonna keep ragging on Dragon Ball, but like Dragon Ball Z, if you have a higher power level, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
Your number is bigger, and that's it. But with Nen, you have more strategy. You still probably will lose to, like, for example, in the Chimera Ant arc. Like if their power is way fucking better than yours, like you're not gonna win. But
right.
I mean, there are weaknesses to all of the Nen powers and all that kind of stuff. So
and also like how smarter you are than the other person or whatever.
Yeah.
But so that's why.
Oh, and there's exercises for Nen too.
Yeah. So there's like
Ten, Zetsu, Ren, and Hatsu.
Yeah, these are the extra fucking specialties that you can do, or whatever. And so, there's also Gyo, which means that you can those are advanced techniques. There's Gyo, In, En, Shu, Ko, and Ken, and Ryu. So I would read up on that.
Fairy Tail, it's just friendship.
Yeah.
in
in One Piece, it's like you're a double fruit hunter. You can know hockey, and basically who's been through some more crazy ass shit than you is like kind of what it is. But yeah,
the wiki fandom definitely breaks it down a lot.
Yeah.
So either
we are not experts.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
we are passerby.
Anyway, so this is
casual
where
fans.
This is where they learn it, and so then they try and advance the tower in that way. And so this is a pretty cool
Which
arc.
one is Killua? Killua's
a transmuter.
He's a transmuter.
Transmuter. Oh, that's right. He can transmute electricity through his body and shit.
But he can also conjure it.
Or conjure. Yeah, he can conjure and control it, which is really. Oh, it's super impressive. But then the thing is, Gon and Killua are 1 in 10,000 abilities or something like that, or 100,000, I think. They're if you put them in a line, they would be the best out of 100,000 people in terms of being able to learn Nen.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
they
they
learned
each
it
are,
pretty
but-
quickly anyway, so.
They learned exactly. That's why. And then their friend, Zushi, he's 1 in 10,000, so he's actually really good too. But he's just not close to what Nen and Gon are. So, or Nen, Killua and Gon are.
Yeah.
Nen.
So this is
a new character.
So this is a pretty cool arc because basically it's about explaining Nen, and you get to see Gon and Killua just fight people, and see other people's abilities and how they work. Hisoka is shown to be a transmuter and a conjurer, and Gon figures out he's an enhancer, which is that's pretty cool, right? Because he enhances his body and gets really strong and shit.
Well, and the thing, he can make what do you call it? Bungee gum.
Yeah.
Which possesses the properties of both rubber and gum.
All right, Nick. Yeah, Hisoka's a magician, right? So he does these little card things. He attaches cards to things, all by using his gum, and then he uses his Nen to hide it.
Right.
So it's super
you can
cool.
hide your power level.
Yeah, you can hide your Nen presence and stuff. Also, what they explain too, and I don't know, I might be messing this up. Actually, they explain it more in Greed Island, so never mind. When we get there, I'll tell you. But if I'm gonna punch Danny, right, and she blocks, if she doesn't if she doesn't use Nen in the area I'm hitting, it would like, she can't just block with her arm. Like she has to put Nen in the arm. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if I hit her and she blocks, but she doesn't put Nen there, I'll break her arm. Right?
Yeah,
So like, there's also, they explain that later, which is really cool. It's kind of like, it's akin to One Piece if I were to punch Nick with hockey and he doesn't block with hockey, you know. But
I block with football.
hug it, chug it, football. Anyway, the next arc is Phantom Troop.
No, my favorite part, real quick before we go.
Oh, sorry,
Part
go
of the Heaven's Arena is when like they beat the asses of those rookie killers.
Oh yeah.
There's like a group of 3 or 4 rookie. Is it 3? I think rookie killers, and they're just trying to camp and like get to the top floor so they can coast and just
be
live
dicks.
in luxury.
Yeah.
And they're just assholes. And like Killua's just like he blackmails one of them before the match, and he's like he's basically going to assassinate him before the match. And he's like, if you don't fucking like if I ever see your face again, you're dead.
Yeah, no, he straight threatens them because they're trying to play
Yeah.
Gon. They're like trying to play him so they can get ahead of him and like fuck him up and shit. And so
Yeah, because Gon is still injured, and there's various like the Heaven's Arena takes place over many months. Like they have to train. So
yeah, and so he goes up to one of them while like he's getting ready and is like, if you show your face around here again, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like I'm straight up gonna slice your throat. Like, and
yeah,
then,
and he's like, well, maybe when you're on the toilet, maybe when you're eating, you never know.
and Killua does this thing where he makes him close his eyes and like imagine him killing him, and it like works, and it scares the shit out of him. And Killua was like, open your eyes if you understand, right? And he's like, okay, but yeah, that's my favorite part too. It was awesome. He peed his pants.
I really enjoyed the battle between Gon and Hisoka.
Yeah, that was the
that's
best
the
like
best part.
battle
That's the best
moment for
Yeah.
sure.
For
Gon
sure.
like picks up a piece of tile and punches through it and shit.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
So badass, dude. And this is the first time you get to see Hisoka like.
Well,
really fight,
and that
too.
was also like the moment because back in the Hunter exam when they were trying to get everyone's badges, Gon actually had to get Hisoka's badge.
Oh yeah.
And something happened between Hisoka and him, but Hisoka kind of like gave Gon like kudos, like, here, you can have my badge, like it's fine. But Gon kind of like refused because it's all like, no, I want to win this like in a fair fight, so take it back. But
he didn't want to owe him anything.
Yeah, but Hisoka was all like, no, that's okay. So, and then that was when Gon was all like, well, I'm not going to use my hunter license until I give you this tag back. So this fight was kind of like that, okay, I'm done owing you like this. So yeah, it was awesome. Like, and definitely it was when you really saw Hisoka being all creepy like and stuff too.
Yeah, when Gon powered up, Hisoka did like that's like the meme that you always see online is Hisoka just like thrusting and there's like a light beam in front of his dick.
Yeah. His
like,
face
oh.
here. But yeah, dude, I agree.
This is a good arc too. I like this arc.
Yeah, me too. I like it.
I think the Zoldyck family arc is like, it's one of the shorter ones. That's probably the weakest one. It's not bad, but it's just like the other arcs are better.
Yeah,
maybe the
Zoldyck
Hunter Chairman and Zoldyck are like the
weaker
shortest.
ones.
They're the shortest arcs and therefore the least good.
Yeah. Well, the Zoldyck one is like part of the Hunter exam one technically. So it's like
it's like a mini arc. I mean, they're still fun. They're still good. But.
So next we have the York New, or some people call it the Phantom Troop arc. I call it the York New arc.
It's a York New City arc. Yep.
Yep. So they go to York New, New York. They go to York New.
New York, New York.
How you down?
They dress as sailors and just start dancing.
What are you, a couple hunters? How you down?
Oh no.
How you doing?
Yeah. All right.
Gon walks up into the city and he just yells out, "Bada bing!"
Yeah.
Random person's like, "Bada boom!"
Bada bing! I'm looking for Jing. Hey, boo boo! A little picnic biscuit.
Oh,
anyway.
No.
Kurapika walks up to the Phantom Troop. "Hey, I'm walking here."
Yeah. Hey, Hisoka, you remember me? How you down? I'm part of the Carter clan. Let me see your hunter license, please. Anyway.
License and hunter examination, please.
Yeah, license and hunter registration, please. So they get to York New, and they're like, okay, we're going to meet up with Leorio and Krapika. And it's like, what up, G? And, actually, right before this, they do go back and visit their Aunt Mito, Gon and Killua. He goes back and visits his Aunt Mito with Killua. And he gets a package from Jing. And the package is a little game console and a little tape. And they play the tape. And the tape is Jing on the tape going, hey, I left
How
you
you
this.
doing?
How you doing?
Aww.
I left you this thing. And I left you this thing. It's a memory card for a game called Greed Island. And you got to get a game because I don't have a copy of it in here. But like when you get a copy of the game, you play Greed Island, and you can find me or whatever. And Killua explains to Gon what Greed Island is. And it's funny because like throughout the whole show, Killua kind of is explaining things to people explaining things to Gon because Gon has lived on Whale Island his whole life, so he doesn't know, you know what I mean, everything.
Little sheltered boy.
Yeah. He's from the fucking boonies, you know? So Killua was explaining Greed Island. It's this game where hunters get sucked in and they, try and survive or whatever. And they try to clear the game by getting all the cards and that kind of thing. And so Jing reveals that he's one of the creators of the game and that the memory card that he leaves has his last save data on it, and you can go from there. And so now it's like Killua was like, dude, I know the perfect place where we could probably find a copy of this game in York New. And it's like, oh shit, okay, well let's go. And so they meet up with Leorio and Krapika, and it turns out that the Phantom Troop is also gonna like crash this bitch because there's this big auction happening, and so they know that the Phantom Troop is gonna like try and steal all the goods. And so Krapika goes there because he's like, okay, this is my chance to maybe kill him. And one of the super rich people families hires some bodyguards, and he hires Krapika as one of them, and that's how they kind of get into it. And it's this big kind of like citywide arc, which is really cool. And it ends with like a lot of it's kind of like talking about the Phantom Troop, introducing each of the Phantom Troop characters, and trying to figure out how they're going to get a hold of this game, a copy of this game, and all that good stuff. Really cool, really fun. What did you guys like about this one? And okay, let me ask you this. Actually, I got a better question. Who's your favorite Phantom Troop
Crollo.
character?
Oh, Crollo's the hottest one.
Crollo is the hottest one.
Well, between Crollo and Hisoka, because remember at the end of Heaven.
Is Hisoka actually a Phantom Troop though?
No, I think he's faking.
No,
I think he's
faking.
Because he can use his texture thing to.
Yeah,
he can use his gum
texture
to make-
surprise.
He used like a gum.
It's called texture surprise.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what he used it to fake the tattoo.
The spider tattoo.
And you found that out during
at the end of
the end of Heaven's Arena, where you saw his booty.
Yeah. And so as far as
That's
know,
Danny's point of reference.
dude, yeah, it's such a good part though. Like he's in the shower getting all lathered up. Woo, Lottie. But no, that's like part of it though, right? Like as far as the rest of the Phantom Troop members know, like he is a Phantom Troop member, but really he's not. But anyway, yeah, dude, my favorite is what's her name? Shizuku. Sorry,
She's the one with the
Shizuku.
glasses and the vacuum.
Yes, she's my favorite.
I knew it.
Glasses waifu.
I knew it.
Glasses goth waifu. Just trying to clean up, dude. She's just trying to clean up shit.
I knew it.
My least favorite is Illumi. I hope he dies. If Illumi was a real person, I'd fucking slice his fucking throat. I hate him. I hope he fucking dies.
If I was stuck in a room with him, Hitler, and I'd use all the bullets on
Illumi
Illumi.
isn't.
Yeah.
But Illumi isn't part of the Phantom Troop.
He is. He's number 11. He's number like 10 or 11.
Illumi?
Yeah.
Illumi Zoldyck.
Yeah, isn't that Killua's
That's
brother?
Killua's brother.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's part of the Phantom Troop. Him and Hisoka are always doing shit together.
I know.
They're just
They weren't,
friends.
but he wasn't in. He wasn't part of the.
I don't think any Zoldicks are part of the Phantom Troop.
No, the only person.
I just read it. Illumi joins the Phantom Troop as Uvogin's replacement,
When-
becoming
was that in
number
the manga?
11. He
Is that
served
after
as
the
a,
show?
He served as a secretary. I actually don't know.
Okay. Well, anyway, he's not.
Anyway.
He's not in this arc. So, yeah.
No, he's not. Yeah, you're right. It might have been later. But him and Hisoka always work together, though. That's for sure. But like, yeah, I guess he joins afterwards. So, anyway, doesn't fucking matter. What matters is this, right? It becomes a big hubbub, right? Because there's you got Gon and Killua over here, and then you have Kurapika over here. He's trying to do his fucking job, and then it all kind of
Kurapika's friend, the singer person.
dude, she's
Melody.
badass. Dude, she's
Melody
so cool.
is like fucking hilarious because their character design is like it's like the most unathletic person you could imagine.
Well,
and they're like
they're-
balding and they have like buck teeth and
they're
stuff, but like they have
cursed.
really cool nen power. Oh, it's a curse.
Yeah, I read a little bit on Melody, and she's actually cursed.
Okay. But
No,
it just goes to show that you don't need to be like a god tier character to help.
Yeah.
No, right, exactly.
this.
Yeah, her hearing is like
She can hear like heartbeats from tons of feet away.
yeah,
Tons of feet. That makes sense.
tons of feet away. But yeah, it then so this is basically where they show all of the Phantom Troops' power and like how powerful they are and how crazy they are, and there's a part where like Gon and Killua are trying to like figure out what they're doing and shit, and they get captured at one point, and it's so sick. And then Kurapika like reveals his nen powers here and all the stuff he learned during the time that they were away during the Heavens Arena, and it was badass. And he fights Uvogin, and Uvogin is like this. His nen power is basically, I'm super beefy. that's
He's a big
That's all it
meathead.
is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's like a super enhancer.
Yeah, he can enhance his enhancement. You know what I mean? And it's fucking just crazy, and it's really badass. And Kurapika basically, fucking, I don't remember what Kurapika's nen power is, but he basically makes a contract with himself, with his life.
Kurapika can. I think it's transmutation. Or no, it's.
Kurapika
It's conjuring.
is
Conjuring.
is a conjurer, but when he
But
when
also a
he-
specialist.
Yeah, when he uses his scarlet eyes, he's a specialist.
Oh, okay. And so when he's
Yeah.
a specialist, he's able to like make a contract with his life that basically is like he sets
He has
the
a-
conditions,
Yeah.
and then he ends up killing Uvogin, which is badass.
Like his power is so specific to the net or to the Phantom Troop. It's like, why would you do that? But I guess that's
Right.
like all he wants to do.
That's his goal, right?
But
yeah.
that did make it like stronger. The chains are way stronger because of that.
Yeah. And something I forgot to mention as well is like the reason why Kurapika feels really strongly about killing him, aside from like the Kurta clan thing, and the reason why he knew they were going to be there is because one of the things that they were auctioning off were a pair of like eyes that belonged to a Kurta. Like they were literally like going to sell these scarlet eyes because they're rare apparently. Like,
Well,
You
you,
know what I
also
mean?
have
Like-
to remember that the mob boss that Kurapika was hired by, the mob boss's daughter wanted specific items from the auction, and the Kurta eyes were one of them. That's
yes.
pretty much
Yeah.
why Kurapika was he wanted to be hired by this mob boss in the first place to get the
Yes.
eyes.
Well, yeah, and the eye. I wonder if they killed the clan to get the eyes because they'd let people become specialists. Maybe they're trying to study that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like the eyes give people like crazy powers.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, dude, the Scarlet Eyes, when they have the Scarlet Eyes, they fucking get mad powerful. Well, Kurapika does. I don't know about the other Kurta people. They're all dead, obviously. But, yeah, this arc was cool. My favorite part about it, honestly, is the fight with Crollo.
Yes,
Because-
Crollo and freaking
Oh, he fights the Zoldycks.
Silva
he fights,
and
Yeah.
Zeno.
He fights Killua's dad and grandfather.
Yeah, Silva and Zeno.
Yeah.
but the contract becomes null when a certain thing happens. And that certain thing happened, so they were like, oh, well, we don't have a need to kill you now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they literally could have killed Corolla right there. They were going to kill him, and they didn't. And that's how dedicated to being assassins they are. They're just like, well, I mean, we can only do what's within our contract and what we're getting paid for. So,
I wonder if that if that is like part of their Nen kind of like Karapika, where it's like part of the
like if they have a
stipulation.
contract, yeah, like then maybe they'll die if they don't follow.
Maybe
it or
the
something.
contract gives them like additional power or something.
Oh,
like
sure,
that.
yeah.
I don't know if it does, but
because like obviously, like if you were that powerful and you were face to face with the Phantom Troop or something or other, and you were like, wow, these Phantom Troop people are shitty, we should kill them anyway. They would, but they don't do that. They only care about what they're getting paid for in their contract. So it's like, I don't know. It was really crazy. It was crazy to see how powerful they are, and shit, it was wild. But yeah, dude.
yeah, what's the guy's name? The grandfather. He has like a dragon
Zeno.
that he summons.
Zeno, yeah. The dragon power, the dragon dive, which I don't think he used in this arc, but
He uses that in Chimera Ant.
yeah. And so anyway, they get the game, and
Yeah, the game is worth like $1 billion.
Jenny.
What are the dollars? Yeah, Jenny, which is I'm guessing like a few million or something.
yeah. And then they go into Green
Jenny
Island.
the USD.
Green Island arc, man, this arc was cool. They get sucked into the game. They get isekai'd into a game, and it turns out that this game is actually in the real world on an island somewhere, and all of the rules of the game apply to just this island using Nen. And one of the creators of the game is Jing, so that's why they're trying to complete it. And so basically the way to clear the game is you have to collect all the cards. And then you get like a reward at the end and some other shit, and it's really sweet. Also, the Phantom Troop tries to go there because they're looking for a Nen remover. Because at the end of the York New arc, or the auction arc or whatever, Karapika had placed a contract on Krollo's heart, which is like a Nen blade. And if he betrays that contract, he'll die. So like they're trying to find like a way to remove it, and apparently that's on Greed Island. And so Gon and Killua also run into Biscuit, probably one of my favorite characters in the whole show. Fucking Bisquick, dude.
Oh yeah, the little lolly that turns into the big lolly.
She's actually like 57
Yeah.
years old. Yeah. Her real form is like this really beefy, hulky woman, and she hates the way it looks, so she like uses Nen to like be a cute little girl or whatever. And yeah, dude, fucking Bisquick, dude. She trains Gon and Killua in the ways of Nen and ways of enhancement, and this is kind of when she explains the part that I was explaining earlier about like, if I punch like Nick in the stomach and that doesn't put Nen in his stomach, when I'm using a Nen punch, I'm gonna fucking put a hole in his stomach. You know what I mean? So like, they kind of
She's an enhancer too, right?
She's a
Yes.
transmitter.
Oh no, she's a transmitter.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, transmuter. Okay.
Never mind. I thought she was an enhancer. But like, she trains them in the advanced techniques of like Gyo, Ryo, Ryu, Ken, In, and all that stuff, which is really cool. So, hell yeah, dude. And then Greed Island, there's all these other douchebags who are trying to steal everyone's cards. Because like, there's different ways to get cards, right?
Which, by the way,
This is kind of a funny arc because it's like you have to collect and learn a card game.
yeah, this honestly,
Some people don't like Greed Island. This is kind of a
whole-
contentious arc.
The aspect of Greed Island was interesting, but the card game aspect, I had zero interest on
Dude,
it.
I love that shit.
It was.
The thing about card games is like the more you know about them, the more fun it is, which is also kind of scary. 'Cause it's like,
Honestly,
oh, shit.
I was pretty much like Gon when people were explaining the rules and everything, and like he just got fried after receiving a whole bunch of information all at once. That was me throughout the whole entire thing. I was just like, this is too much information being thrown at me. Like, I don't need to know all this information. Just Just get from point A to point B already, please, and thank you.
Yeah, the card game aspect is like they take the card and they can say like, appear or whatever. I forgot the word, but it makes the thing that the card does happen or whatever. So
once they use the ability of the card, that's it. The card vanishes.
Yes, and there's more rules to those cards than what we're saying, but.
It's really clever because don't they like disguise one of the cards so they can take it outside the game or something? Because they're trying to locate Gon's father with it.
That's at the end.
Yeah, at the end. Don't you like win a card of your choice that you can remove from the game?
You get to pick 3 cards to take with outside of Greed Island and use them.
You guys are going to have to refresh my memory on this because I didn't get to this one again. I did like watch a brief summary of all these things, but this is a long fucking show and I was kind of busy. So, but I liked Greed Island overall, and I think the dodgeball tournament was the best part of it.
That was the most hype.
Oh yeah, that's
because you got Gon and Killua and Hisoka teaming up.
Yeah, which is badass,
and that was just fucking cool.
And you also get to see Hisoka's booty again.
You do.
What was the name of the guy that they fought?
Razor.
Apparently he's like super powerful.
I mean, yeah, you saw it in the show. Like,
yeah, Jing fucking. I mean, there's a reason why Jing like hired this guy to be part of the game, because that's how you get one of the forbidden cards or whatever. There's cards that you can have like a bunch of, right? And then there's the forbidden slot cards, and you need all of those to like clear the game.
Right.
And the way to get one of them is by doing these crazy quests in the game, and one of those quests is beating this guy and his crew in dodgeball. And I don't know, dude, it was one of the coolest like animated like fucking like parts ever in the show. It was badass. And they're also trying to deal with these group of people who are like hurting people and killing people for their cards. Right, because you can get cards like a real player, like a real G, or you can beat the shit out of someone and just steal all theirs. You can what do you call it? Player kill? Yeah, PK.
PK them, just like sword
them.
art.
Just like sword art, dude. But yeah, dude, I love that part. It was cool to see Killua, Gon, and like Hisoka like work together to like win, and Hisoka was like. His reasons for doing it were like, oh, well, just like, why not? I want to see you guys.
Well, he wasn't really interested in collecting cards because the reason why they had to go to fight Razor is because they were looking for play. Because Razor told them that they needed a certain amount of players in order for them to participate in the dodgeball game. So they like teamed up with this like. They like met up with these like professional hunters because they were trying to defeat Genthru, who is the part of the bomber group, because Genthru was literally trying to get all like these special cards to use them.
Oh, and he was the main bad guy in that arc, right?
Yeah. So, and that's when they met up with.
He was one of the weaker main villains, I would say.
He was okay.
Yeah, he was alright. Yeah.
And that's when because Hisoka actually he didn't input his actual name in Greed Island. He actually used an alias, which was Crollo, and they're all like, "Hey, let's." And obviously, Gon and Killua knew that it actually wasn't Crollo. It was a doppelganger. So they were all like, "Hey, let's call this, fake Crollo," and then it turned out to be Hisoka. So, and then that's when they went through the whole dodgeball game, and honestly, that was actually one of my favorite parts with Hisoka and stuff like that, because you kind of saw that, Gon, Killua, and Hisoka working together in order to defeat Razor.
Yeah, it's really fun when enemies have to team up to beat a bigger enemy.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that trope.
Yeah, me too.
I also, before like the whole dodgeball tournament, when they first met up with Hisoka, Biscuit was all like head over heels for Hisoka because she was all like, "Oh my gosh, she's so sexy."
Yeah.
But she also knew that Hisoka was hiding something, which I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, she knew he was sus.
Yeah. So, and it was actually really funny because when they were walking, like both Gon and Killua were all like, "Actually, Hisoka, you walk in front. Like you're creeping me out right now."
Yeah.
Oh god, that reminds me. Okay, back in the Heaven's Arena arc, I was gonna mention this before. There's like a YouTube video where it's like that's pretending that Gon and Killua are gay. It's like at one point Gon, I keep calling it Gon. Gon slaps Killua on the butt and he's like, "Hey Killua, I have an idea for what we can do after the match."
Oh no!
Just like ends the scene.
God.
There's a couple of scenes like that. It's really funny.
Yeah,
That was in the 99 version. I don't know if they did that in the 2011. I don't remember if they did that in 2011.
I don't think so.
Did he slap him on the butt? Any butt slaps?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, so they finally get all the cards, and Gon is technically the person who cleared the game, so he gets the reward. The reward is you can take 3 cards out of the game and use them. And so he doesn't have to decide right away. He can just decide and put 3 cards in this little box that the creators give him. And one of the creators explains to him, so this is how the game was made, and your dad helped because he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
And whatever.
He's a
And
douchebag.
he's like explaining, he's like, your dad sucks because he changed my name to this or whatever. Because like
Dune. His name was Dune, or something
yeah,
like
name
that.
the name Greed comes from like their initials or whatever.
Yeah.
But but basically what Gon decides to do is, so you can't take out cards that are like the Forbidden Space cards. You can only take out one of the regular ones, the ones that are like there are multiples of. So he takes out, and a company is one of those cards, right? So they take out 3 cards. Biscuit chooses the blue planet card, which summons this blue jewel.
Which
she wants the
that's
jewel.
what she wanted. She wanted the jewel.
Yep.
That's fucking lame. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe they'll explain it later.
So then they use one of the other cards, which I believe is Paladin's necklace, which changes,
Paladin's necklace. Yeah.
it changes any other card to any other card you want. And so they change the Plot of Beach card into the Accompany card. And the Accompany card brings you to the person who who came in before you, I believe it was. And one person came in before Gon logged in, and that person's name was Nig, Nigg. And so he thought, okay, well that must be Jing, but his name
Oh yeah, an
moved around.
anagram. Yeah.
Yeah, anagram of Ging.
I don't know about that anagram though.
I know, it's kind of a terrible word. But yeah, like, so they do that, and then it brings them to Kite. And Kite is
Best.
Jing's best student, best homie.
Yes.
And it's really cool, and that's where the Chimera Ant arc starts.
Did Kite show up in the 2011 version right away?
No.
He does in the 1999 version. He's in the first episode, I think, or
Yeah.
second episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched a YouTube video about that, and that I knew about, but in the 2011, he doesn't show up until the Chimera, and then they show like a flashback of that episode 1 moment when Kite punched Gon in the face.
All right.
Yeah, because in the manga they do it too. It's in the first chapter.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, dude. It's kind of tough because we're talking a lot, obviously, and the Chimera Ant arc is the longest arc.
Yeah, we're just gonna do a new podcast episode for that one.
Yeah, no, because it's 61 episodes.
It's
compared to
Greed Island is 17.
Yeah.
I'm on the wiki. Yeah, so actually the Hunter exam is the second longest at 26, and then you have the It's 26, 12, 20, 17, 61, and then 12. That's the arc lengths. That's kind of one of the weird parts about this arc. Like, one of the downsides is that it's so many episodes. Because I feel like a good arc length, like 30, I think would be a good length, right? I don't know. I'm picking that number out of my ass. But, like, Chimera Ant takes place... A lot of it takes place in the span of, like, 5 minutes. It's like, just, like, it's crazy. But, yeah, anyway, Sam, go ahead.
No, exactly. I was going to say exactly what you said was...
Like, the final battle it's like 5 minutes or whatever, but it's like multiple episodes.
The first part of it is like they're kind of going in with Kite to check out the situation, and they get rocked by like Pito, and Pito is one of the royal guards. The queen ant is trying to... So these chimera ants, what they do is they eat other animals and whatever they can get their hands on, and they can multiply in a way where... Like a chimera, like the definition of a chimera is like a hybrid creature, right? So like the queen ant can be fed like a dolphin,
right?
A human, and
anything.
a shark, and they'll birth like a dolphin shark human.
There's one that's just a koala.
There's literally one that's just a koala, but they all have
So
features
dumb.
features of ants, like with their hands and shit, right? But like if they ate me, Nick, and Danny, they would birth some really fucking weird ass weeb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
So-
Chimera Ant, this is actually, before this, there weren't a lot of the magical beasts. Like, there was a couple in the
that's
Zoldyck
true.
mansion, right?
That's
and
true,
like
yeah.
this is where it kind of takes a turn, like kind of like how Berserk takes a turn after a certain point. You're like, oh shit. And this is what that is, essentially.
Well, that's how they start off the show. That's even how they start off the manga.
It's like a genre swap almost. Like, actually, it's funny because every arc is like a different genre almost.
Yeah. Well, that's how they start off the show, is by saying there's these beings known as hunters, and they hunt off magical beasts and bounty hunters and do this. They talk about magical beasts, that. This is the first time where you actually see them do some hunting, aside from like Kurapika, doing bounty hunting or whatever, like earlier with the Phantom Troop and stuff. But like this is the first time you actually see them do some like beast hunting and shit. And so the queen ant is birthing more and more creatures, and they're evolving each time. Because then they start not only eating other animals, they start eating other humans.
Right, because
Then
there
they
were
discover-
some chimera ant soldiers who brought humans to the queen, and the queen was all like,
Yep.
"Oh, this is interesting. Give me more of
Yeah.
this. Like, this is what I need in order for me to birth the king." Like,
And then they find Nen humans, which is like the delicacy.
which
Yeah.
they call rares.
They call them rare humans, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the later soldiers, like Colt and all them, they start like being able to talk and shit, so they're like, oh shit. And so then she's gonna birth the ultimate king, like the next king of the world, the ultimate being. This is a lot of people make the comparisons to like Perfect Cell from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Because that's basically what this is. And so he gets born, and his name is Meruem. But before he's born, the royal guards are born. And the royal guards are so fucking goddamn powerful that she jumps one of them. Her name is Pito. She jumps him. She jumps Gon, Kite, and Killua right when they get to like their home, like close to their home base where the chimera ants are, or the queen ant is. And she fucking kills, like, Kite tells Gon and Killua to run away, and they run. And basically,
Well, Gon was
Netero-
all like freaking out, and he like was about to power up, and Killua like kind of assessed
Yeah,
the
he
situation
knocks him out.
and knocks him out
Yeah,
and
knock him out.
flees. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not trying to give every fucking detail because, like, I don't want to. I'm gonna talk too much because I ramble a lot.
Well, this
but
is
like,
a 60 episode arc, so we gotta
Yeah.
move.
yeah. So like,
We're at an hour and a half already.
he tells them to run, and they run. Okay, and then Moral, Netero, and Nav.
Moral's a cool dude.
Yeah,
He
they
has
go
like
on.
a big. What does he have? Like a big pipe or
It's
a big stick?
It's a big Japanese tobacco pipe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
pipe.
And so basically, it's now from here, it's the hunters versus the ants. And so Netero, Moral, and Nav go in, and Nav has this Nen power where he can teleport people into this random ass building. And so he just makes Netero wait in there, and they just jump ants and send them to Netero, and Netero kills them. And they basically fucking, like, no diff all of, like, the ant clan, pretty much, aside from, like,
The strongest ones, because there's hierarchy of ants. You have like the crappy ones at the bottom, and then you have like commanders and shit, and the royal guard, and then the king.
Yeah. And so when the king gets birthed, which happens earlier than they thought, the king ends up killing a few of them too, because he's like, "Fuck you, like I'm the king and you're a bitch," or whatever.
It's like when the Uruk-hai are born, and they grab the goblin and just like.
Oh yeah, in Lord of the Rings, yeah.
You do not know pain. You do not know fear.
And and so yeah, at this point, so they basically tell Gon and Killua, "We sent 2 assassins, 2 of our pupils, to this city. If you can beat them, then you can come back." And they try everything they can to do it, and because they want to rescue Kite.
Yeah, Biscuit even helps them out too. Biscuit comes.
She
back.
trains them again. Yeah. And then they go and they start devising a plan to attack the king, and the king sets up a new base in this place. He's like the dictator of NGL, or the country NGL, and to
like
be
North
honest,
Korea, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'd say that. It's kind of like that, I guess. But like,
the guy looks like the guy.
So the one thing I don't like about the Chimera Ant arc is all of that extra political stuff. I get why, right? Because like it's part of the royal guard and the king's scheme to like Meruem's scheme to like, massacre and eat a bunch of humans at one time. It just is like there's like a lot of
like
moments.
Cell. He is like Cell.
Yeah, and so like they want to turn a bunch of humans into really powerful Chimera Ant soldiers at one time. So they do this scheme where they kill this dictator guy and then pretend to be him and whatever. And they just spent way too much time on it, in my opinion. It was just kind of like
there was definitely a lot of talking and explaining
during that planning.
Yeah. There was
it's because they're setting up for genocide. There were Chimera Ants would have killed all humans if they were able to do their plan.
Right. It just
because the hunters come in and like they're some of the strongest humans that they have. Period. The Phantom Troop is not in this one, but there's maybe a few scattered humans that are strong. But like Netero is the strongest human alive, at least that we know of in the show.
Yeah.
And so it's like if those defenses failed, like fuck, humans are dead. And like like I was saying before, the Chimera Ants they're from the Dark Continent, or they're speculated to be from there. Mm-hmm. And so humans are just like they're very weak. They need to, and like actually, I think there are laws that like you can't go to the Dark Continent because you can end up bringing something like that to the human world,
right?
And just fucking them up. The sea that they live on is called the Mobius Sea, I think, and it's just a big lake. It's a lake that is inside of the Dark Continent, which is hilarious.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's like Qui-Gon Jinn. There's always a bigger fish.
So Nick is probably going to spend the rest of this episode talking about the Dark Continent. That's what he's been doing.
I don't know anything about it. It's just cool. Dark Continent's cool.
So anyway, it's very apparent that this is going to be like a really big, huge thing, right? And you're kind of thinking like, okay, how are they going to do this, right? And so they decide, they plan. So Nav puts a bunch of like portals around the palace. All while this is happening, Meruem is he's trying to find the most powerful humans and the most smartest humans as like a pre-screening. And so he plays against the best shogi player. He loses, so he kills him. Or no.
He plays against someone with chess. He plays a lot. I can't remember what the other ones were, but I think the shogi player, he was all like, I'm not feeling too well. Is it okay, if I like sleep it off for a bit? And Meruem was all like, yeah, okay, you'll have like 3 hours or whatever like that. And then
right.
That's when you first meet Komugi. And then I can't remember what happened, but Meruem was all like, well, go back to your quarters for now because I have to fight. I have to like play against this other guy. And then one of the royal guards comes in. It's all like, hey, so the shogi player, he like killed himself.
He killed himself. Yeah.
So and you know, as Komugi was going to leave to go back to her quarters to rest. Oh, that's right, because they were playing for a bit, and like Komugi like still like defeated Meruem.
Which is the reason why she can defeat him is because she's a genius at Nen. And her Nen power is to be good at that one game.
Well, she's also blind too.
Well, no, and that's why. Like, she gets better every game she plays.
Right? Yeah. So, but
That's
anyway,
fucking overpowered,
yeah. So
dude.
the shogi player killed himself, and Meruem was all like, "Okay, well then, Komugi, you're not gonna rest. You're gonna play some more with me." And you know that's
Which is like she's fine with because it's like her favorite fucking thing.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And she's like explaining kind of like, if I don't have Gungi, then I don't have anything because that's
Yeah.
all I'm good at. And to become like a world national champion, you have to like be good at it. That's how you make money.
And yeah, and that's what she explained, because after a while, Meruem kind of put a wager, or like made a bet with Komugi, and was all like, you know, if you can beat me again, like I'll give you whatever you want. I can't remember what if he wins or something like that.
I'll grant you any wish.
That's right. And then
And then she goes.
well,
Instead
instead of
well,
that,
I
can
want
I
to bet
bet
my life.
Yeah, can I bet on my life? Because like literally, you know, if you're as a Gungi player, if you lose, like you're garbage, you're trash.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you know what he says? He says, "If I win, you give me your left arm."
that's right.
And
Yeah,
then
yeah,
she
yeah.
goes, "Instead, can I bet my life? Because if you lose, you're nothing.
Right.
You're garbage."
Yes.
And then so he was like, "You're literally gonna do that? That's amazing. I respect that."
Yeah.
And he tears off his left arm.
Yeah. And then
They
Poof
become
is all
best
like,
friends.
"Your Majesty, how could you
Yeah,
do that?
Shia-
We need to stop right
Poof.
now."
Shia LaBeouf.
I call him Shia LaBeouf. Yeah, Shia
Fucking
LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf, dude. What a name, Shia Poof.
Yeah. By the way, it was the Go player who killed himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with the
Yeah,
black and
Komugi
white,
doesn't
you know,
kill
beans.
herself.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
black
yeah,
and white
yeah.
beans. The shogi player he kills because he's like, why didn't he kills the shogi player because he's like, why didn't you fucking like do this move here
Right.
when that would have been the better move? And he's like, I don't know, I and he's like, well, okay, well if you're gonna play like a yutz, I'm just gonna kill you, and he kills him.
Yeah, he folded under pressure. He might have been he probably got taught by March comes in like a lion. That's what happened.
So because
Forgot the character
because Meru M
That'd be
is
funny
like,
if March comes in like a lion, like is a prequel to this. At the end, he just fucking dies.
Meru M and Komugi, he starts like, because he's like a hybrid of like a human, a bunch of humans really, and you know some other animals and other things like that.
Well,
He's a man-bear pig.
he's practically a newborn, like, so
Right,
by
he's-
having all this human interaction, especially with Komugi, because Komugi has no fear, because one, she's blind, so literally all the things that is around her, she kind of has to have it verbally explained to her, and that's actually what she tells Meruem at the first game that they play, because you know he noticed.
Announce your moves.
Yeah, like he noticed that, you know, he even asked her, like, are you, like, can you not see? And she's all like, yeah, I can't see. So if you could, can you please, like, tell me what you're, like, which moves you make and stuff like that? Which I found,
and-
like, the most interest
Yeah.
honestly, out of,
That's the coolest character dynamic in the show. I
that
think.
is, like, the most coolest dynamic in a series ever. To me, I personally love witty blind characters like Komugi, because they have
and Toph from Last Airbender.
and Toph,
Yeah,
literally
Toph,
have
yeah.
no fear or anything like that. Like they just like get things done. They get shit done.
Yeah.
Like mad respect for all those people.
And so what I was trying to say was the reason why the dynamic gets really cool is because Meruem is this newborn who only comes into the world knowing that he's supposed to rule and be powerful. And through playing Gungi with Komugi for so long, he starts fighting with his human side. Mm-hmm. His An side starts fighting with his human side. And he's
Oh,
trying to figure-
that happens to all the ants actually, not just him.
Well, some
Yeah,
of
that
Some of
them.
the ants,
yeah.
some of the ants consider themselves human still.
Well, because
Yeah.
they remembered their former lives, which comes very
Okay, so-
important later on.
Yeah, it does. So there's this part where he's like, this is like the part where he's like, well, what the fuck, right? So he's deciding like, okay, what do I want to do? Because what is my purpose? Because now he starts questioning shit, and then he's like, well, whatever. Like, let's go figure out what to do with this fucking Gungi player because I don't fucking know. I've let her live for a while now and whatever. So he's literally like on his way to the room, and he's like thinking, you know what? I'm so powerful that I could just kill everyone and just rule the world. I'm just going to go kill this person because fuck her, right? And there's like a hawk or a bird thing attacking her. And then he comes in and just kills the bird. And he's like, why didn't you call for help? What's wrong with you? And she's like, I didn't want to bother anyone because everyone's asleep. I know it's nighttime. And he was like, why didn't you say anything? And he's like getting all concerned and shit. And she starts crying. And he's like, why are you crying? And she's like, because no one's ever been this nice to me.
Oh
And
my
it's like,
gosh.
dude, oh my fucking God. Fucking, was...
Oh, it's a terrible day for rain.
It's terrible name, bro.
Oh, I should say that for later.
But no, seriously, like, and so that's when like Miriam is like, after that he tells Pito, he's like, okay, so you knew that the hawk was like pecking at her and you didn't do shit, and she's like, well, yeah, because I thought I was protecting you at the time, and he was like, next time, if something happens to her, you were to protect her at all times, and if any other more harm comes to her, I'm gonna kill you. And she's like, okay, understood. And then Shia LaBeouf gets all jealous because he's all like, this girl is hindering his kingness and royalness. She's scum and he's
The
royal.
fancy man.
He's supposed to be Fancy Man 9000, King Louis the 15th. And like, sorry, I got innocent on
Shia
my brain
LaBeouf
still.
just says, "Just do it."
Just do
Yeah.
it.
And so like he's like trying to like devise a way to get Komugi killed and shit, and it's like he's being a dick because he's Shia LaBeouf or whatever. And yeah. Anyway, we're going too much on about this, but like that part, the Komugi part, is like important.
It's a long
later.
arc, man.
Yeah.
It's a long arc.
What
Yeah.
do you want us to?
It's very hard to have a concise discussion about this whole show, honestly. But like,
Yeah, we're doing a lot of summarizing. I guess it's like, audience, let us know if you want us to review shows like this or in a different way, because we can do it differently. But
well, no, I mean, we normally would do it differently.
this show is so long that it kind of helps to do this. But
it's so long, and there's not really any one specific theme to like each arc, really. So like, I mean, it's a shonen, right?
there are ways to do it shorter, but yeah, let us know, listeners.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, let us know, fine, if you want, but we do review things not this way normally. But like,
Well, to be
like-
fair, this is our very first long-running
Yeah,
This
it
is.
show review, so
We got the kinks to,
Yeah.
to iron out potentially.
Yeah.
yeah. But like, I mean, also because it's like a shonen, there's not a
could
lot
get-
of like.
We could do more big picture stuff here. We're gonna do a big picture at the end. We'll do that. Like,
Yeah.
what did we think? What were the main themes? What are the strengths and weaknesses? Whatever.
Anyway, it turns out that like Gon kills Pito and Netero beats.
Because
the
Gon has a
ants
grudge against Pito, and like
for what he did
that
to Kite. For what she did to
enables
Kite.
him, for what she did to Kite, and that enables him to awaken like his Super Saiyan power, pretty much.
I mean, he
but that's,
basically
like, later on.
they find out that Kite is actually dead. There's no way to fix him.
Yeah,
And Gon is like, okay, well, then I'll use everything. And he basically makes a Nen contract with himself that says, I'll give up all my Nen if you give me the power to beat Pito right now.
right, yeah.
And he basically beats her into the fucking ground.
Oh yeah, so he does the Karapika thing, right?
It was a
'Cause
very
Karapika
Yeah.
made,
it was a very
made
one-sided
a
fight
condition.
kind of thing. Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
at that time, apparently, I'm reading online. So at that moment, he was the second strongest human behind Netero.
Yes.
So he still probably couldn't have beaten Miriam, but
No.
unlike, well, I mean, maybe though, because like he beat Pito, like he owed her money. Like he just like pounded her into the fucking ground. She had no chance.
She mentions that like he's on the same level as the king.
Yeah.
At that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a short. It was like the flame was like quick,
Yeah, no, he had to do it.
sustain it.
Yeah.
And the cool part about that is like Gon is kind of doing a bad thing, like where in like Dragon Ball Z or other things, like they get their Super Saiyan form and it's for a good cause, but this is for a bad cause, kind of, because he just wants fucking revenge. Like that's pretty much it. And And so, like, in some ways, like, Super Eye Patch Wolf had a couple of videos on this, and he mentioned that Hunter x Hunter is like a shonen deconstruction. I don't know what deconstruction means anymore because nobody knows, but that makes sense to me because it kind of turns a lot of these tropes on their head sometimes. And yeah, when Gon powered up, that's what happened. Like, he did it for selfish reasons, and he like sacrificed everything to do it. So
yeah, even at the cost of his life, because it's going to kill him, right? So, and I'm not really big on the whole deconstructing kind of reviewing. I think that's
I don't know if that's like a proper definition, but it is like it's an interesting twist on it at the very least.
What I'm saying is I'm not corny like that. I just like talking about what I like, and what I did like is exactly what Nick said, is that it took these shonen tropes and kind of turned them on its head. I mean, they introduced all these characters in the beginning, and we're not seeing them that much anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool because like Hunter x Hunter actually, all the side characters in Hunter x Hunter are really interesting.
They're badass, and they do.
In a lot of shows, you have throwaway characters. Like 99% anime, like you have throwaway. Oh, I'm an NPC. I don't fucking matter. Like in Hunter x Hunter, it's like, oh, that character. What's their story? What are they doing? You know, like
yeah.
And even the ants in Chimera Ant, like each ant is unique.
A few of them you actually start to have some sympathy for. Like
my favorite's the octopus ant.
Ikago or something like that. Welfin is also an interesting Chimera Ant.
The cheetah is really the dumb one, right?
Chitu. Yeah. The characters that I kind of really liked in this arc is actually Palm and Knuckle.
Yeah, Palm.
Oh yeah, was that the one who can turn invisible?
Palm?
No.
That's a different guy. My bad.
Palm is the one who, if
she's Knob's pupil.
Yeah, and she's the one who, if she sees you with her left eye, she's able to go to like, she has to like use her, she has to like cut herself and like pour it into like that mermaid crystal ball thing in order for her
and then she can see where you are.
Yeah. But then she was supposed to infiltrate the palace, but then she got kidnapped by the Chimera ants, and she got turned into an ant as well.
They fused her with like her mermaid thing, and so they put the power in her fucking head.
Yes,
and now she can
to me, I think Palm just look like her character's design just got even better. Like I love her Chimera. Her
Chimera look is cool.
It's so awesome. It's so like she looks way hotter than what she looked like before, in my personal opinion.
It's an improvement. She had a glow up.
And Knuckle, honestly, Knuckle is just a badass.
Doesn't she have a crush on Gon? Don't they?
She does.
Yeah, they go on a date, and that's when you realize that Gon is a ladies' man, and he doesn't even realize it.
Gon is the ultimate stick man.
He's Mac Daddy Pimp all the way to the P kicker.
Yeah.
His auntie trained him well.
But no, Knuckle is really cool because he's like
awesome.
He's the delinquent hero guy.
Yeah, and he was so
dude,
like Metal
Tokyo
Bat.
Avengers. It's a prequel to this. I'm telling you.
And he like Metal Bat from One Punch Man.
Yeah,
he's like that guy. Yeah, dude.
Got the
I love
pomp,
Knuckle.
Dude. Fucking sick.
Yeah,
I think he teams up with one of the ants that can go invisible.
Yeah, he
Which one is
teams up
that?
with like the chameleon-looking guy. I can't pronounce that dude's name for the life of me. It starts with an M.
Oh, Meliuron.
Yeah,
Meliuron.
Yeah.
He has a really cool. The name of his ability is really
God's
cool.
Accomplice. It's called God's Accomplice.
God's Accomplice.
He basically doesn't turn invisible.
He's able to hold his breath for at least like 2 minutes, and
he has to hold his breath.
Yeah, he holds his breath and he can go invisible.
Yeah, and like but whoever he's touching, they can also be invisible.
It's called Perfect Plan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different one actually.
It's
I think
called God's Accomplice. I just said it.
Perfect Plan
times.
is where he sits still. You can't see him. I think.
No, it's so. Oh yeah, it's Perfect Plan, and then God's Accomplice is when he passes it to somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, his
that's
idea
a strong
is,
ability.
Yeah, his idea is I can make one of you guys invisible, and you can kill the king that way. But it's not foolproof, right? Because it's not really that he becomes invisible. It's that he becomes so unnoticeable that you just don't notice him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, because when he did it the first time, Gon was like, wait, where'd you go? And he's, like, waving his hand around. And he's explaining to him, he's like, no, I was still sitting there. You were even touching me. You just didn't notice me. I became so unnoticeable that I was practically non-existent.
It's like that one. It's like the homely looking girl in A League of Their Own. They put her in deep right field because they don't want people to look at her. That's what his ability is.
But yeah, he's like that
He's a
one
homely,
friend
he's
that,
like the cheerleader effect. He's the
You know, it's
cheerleader
like
that
that-
you don't notice.
that kid you went to high school with who was like, they weren't really popular, but they weren't really not popular. They just like, they didn't really
Oh, what was
know
that
much
fr-
about him.
It's like from The Office where Angela sneaks up on Dwight.
Oh God.
You guys know that meme? He's like, ah!
I will
Stop doing
say
that.
the downside of like the whole scenario that we're describing, literally the big battle that happens at the end of this arc. The one downfall about that situation is the whole narration thing that's going on.
Oh, I like the narrator. That was cool.
A lot of it was just, I mean, I understood that every single thing that they showed that was being narrated was literally happening all at the same time in a span of less than 5 minutes or something like that. But to me, that whole narration, it was way too much. And it's just like, let me just watch because a lot of the characters literally had the same expression as the narrator was explaining. And it's like, I really don't need to know that. I can literally see how despair and how frightened this certain character is. Just let the dialogue of the characters do its thing, and
But that's like the shonen trope, though. It's like you gotta describe their thoughts.
Well,
so fast.
Actually, no, that's not the reason why there was narration throughout that whole thing. Is because Togashi, at the time when the Chimera arc was happening, that's when his health was decreasing. So, and when
okay. I didn't know that.
and the reason why he was doing the whole explanation thing was because there was, I can't remember which chapter it was, but there was a long period of time where the latest chapter happened, and then when the narration started, it was kind of like a catch up for people who were reading it weekly. That's why he did that whole narration thing.
Well, also in the show, there's a part where 9 episodes is 3 minutes in the show.
Right.
And
That's some Dragon Ball Z shit right there.
And also the narration part in those episodes help because they want to explain to you where everyone is at these 3 minutes.
I mean, I understand
They're all
that,
that
but
makes some sense.
also
Yeah.
I really didn't.
But after that, they
still a
kept
lot.
doing
It was
Still a
But
lot.
after,
it was a
after that, they
lot,
kept
though.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, I'm
Chimera
with you,
Ant-Arc
yeah.
is it's fucking incredible, but it's also too long. So both things are true, I think. Because everyone's like, oh, it's the best shonen arc of all time. And it in some ways it is, but in some ways it's also kind of flawed.
Yeah.
But it's really
I-
cool because it's like chaos theory. It's just like different things can change. It's just instability. Like stability changes to instability instantly. Especially during that battle, like the 3-minute section.
Yeah. And I'm with Danny because even after those 3 minutes, they kept doing it. Like he kept narrating
Yeah,
shit.
it
And
was just like, okay, I get it. I mean, even
Well, it's kind of like Baki, don't they narrate in that too?
and
And Kaiji, they got narrators in those. That's the main character.
I don't know.
Yeah, in Baki, they explain everything. It's literally
As I-
just like that.
As
But-
I listen
but
to
the
Nick
difference
and
is
Danny
Baki
talk
has
to each
shorter
other,
arcs.
I'm sitting here looking at my screen, seeing that my waveforms are still going. It's very clear that we've been going for almost 2 hours, and I'm starting to get a little sleepy. I continue to stare at my
you're
mic.
doing it differently. You're doing it differently. It's like
I'm doing first person. Yeah,
what they didn't know was that Sam's summary came from years of experience, punching their fist 10,000 times a day. We should get to that,
Yeah,
by
dude.
the way.
Anyways,
Okay,
yeah, no,
any other parts before we get to the final battle of Chimera Ant? Because there's a lot that goes into it,
No, I mean, I don't want to. I mean, I
Do
was just
we
gonna
don't
jump right
wanna,
to it.
we're kind of spoiling a lot already, but do we want to? I don't know.
I mean, basically, Netero.
This is kind of a spoiler cast if you think about it.
Yeah, no, and I'll say that in the beginning too. But like, Netero, I mean, is the only person who can fight Meruem. Okay, like that's just it. The assault begins with Netero and Killua's grandfather diving into the palace from the sky, doing the dragon dive, which nobody else knew what that was going to happen. By the way,
Yeah.
and so. The dragon dive is basically a bunch of beams raining down like a meteor shower, busting up everything.
Nobody knew except Killua. Killua recognized the whole dragon dive thing.
But he didn't know when or what.
He didn't know it was going to happen.
He didn't know it was going to happen.
He didn't know the full plan.
Yeah.
They kind of compartmentalized the plan.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess because in case somebody got captured or something.
Right. And so, basically, the plan, what all that his grandpa was hired for was to bring him in there using the dragon dive and then leave. And so he uses the dragon one more time to bring Netero and Meruem to a far off place so they can go nuts. Okay. And so they go nuts. It kind of goes into a backstory of how Netero got so powerful.
And this is one of the times where backstory is cool.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fucking sweet backstory.
Netero basically practiced one punch.
The original
forever.
One Punch Man.
He basically practiced one punch forever for like 3 years.
It was like 4 or 5 years.
Or 4 or 5 years.
He
yeah.
started at age 46, and then he was done when he was like 50 or something. Give or take.
And so he basically is the definition of that Bruce Lee quote where it's like, I fear not the man who's practiced 1,000 kicks, but practiced one kick 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
And so he learned to do the Bharat Masatava, like Buddha, straight up Buddha's palm, kill you 5,000.
Literally, that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, send you of 1,000 hands.
10,000 punches of gratitude daily. The first time he did it, it took him 18 hours, and he eventually got it to under an hour for 10,000 punches.
Yes, and it became
got
so
even quicker than
fast.
that.
It became so fast that it's just like
It's slow mo.
you don't even. Yeah, it'll kill you so fast that you won't know you're dead until like a couple seconds later.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy. Yeah,
Oh
your
yeah, it's
body's
like Fist of the North Star.
your bleeding has
You're
to
already
like catch
dead.
up. Yeah, yeah. Oh my, I shouldn't do it. Like, fucking, it's badass, right? So,
Dude, it's fucking sick. It's like Land of the Lustrous when the Buddhas come in. That's what he
it's
does.
exactly that. It's exactly.
He summons a giant fucking golden god thing with a bunch of hands.
that. You ever see that scene in
Yeah.
Kung Fu Hustle when he does the Buddha's palm and it became a big handprint, like a mile wide, shows up on the ground? That's this.
It's
Except
like in
times
the
10.
movie Jackass when the little guy's walking around the corner and the hand comes around and slaps him.
Yeah, it's literally that times 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all little guy too. Little man.
So no, anyway.
Wee man.
Wee Man, dude. Yeah, Wee Man Acuna. Shout out to Wee Man Acuna. But no, seriously. And then Miriam's not even getting, like, he's getting scratched at the most with this.
Oh, that's how strong Miriam is. He's fucking bullshit, dude.
Yeah. So then he takes away Netero's, like, right leg and left arm. And Netero's like, all right, then I'm just gonna. He's like, I never said I had to pray with both hands. And he does it again with his one hand. And that's it. He uses everything he can right there, which is like the zero hand, which is like a big Buddha beam, and that didn't even kill Meruem. It didn't work.
Really,
so
I will say that whole fight was definitely awesome, and especially when Meruem chopped off Netero's leg, and fucking Netero.
Oh, that was sick.
Netero literally closed that shit up.
yeah, he
He's
slapped
like,
his thigh.
he's like, you think I need two hands to pray?
But I will say,
He
like,
slaps his
after
thigh and it closes.
Netero used the zero hand, and that pretty much just like sucked up all of his lifespan, and he literally became like a shriveled up old man. And when he realized that,
He's already old. He's like over 100 in the
right,
show. I
yeah,
think.
he was. Zeno even mentioned that like Netero was there when Zeno was born.
He's 120 years old.
Yeah. And then that's when Netero like his sinister side came into play, and I really enjoyed how Netero was drawn and like just looking like death, like the Grim Reaper and everything.
Oh, that was fucking sick.
It was.
Yeah,
he
oh,
looked.
Man,
he looked awesome.
Yeah.
What did they call this? Oh, the miniature rose. That's his like final attack.
So he had a surgery happen where they implanted a
bomb, like
A
pretty much
basically-
a
This is
nuclear
some
bomb.
This is Baki the Grappler.
yeah, they fucking put a nuclear bomb in his body, and if his
In his
heart
heart.
stops beating, it'll
Yeah.
fucking go off. So he kills himself by
Why is
piercing
he
his
allowed
heart.
to be in society then? Because what
No,
if he
I know,
just
right?
dies?
Well, because he's a hunter. He's a hunter chairman, so like
Yeah,
they can do
yeah.
whatever they want, pretty much. But like, then they kind of explain what this bomb is, and this bomb was used for like wars, like back in the day, and they had to ban the use of them because they were just so dangerous. And they don't explain the most dangerous part about it, which is actually the fumes that come out of it later.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
like,
it's a nuclear bomb. That's what they do.
right. That's like its main thing. Is that it's this
If
really
you think
huge
about it, Hunter x
explosion.
Hunter is nicer than reality. They actually banned nukes.
yeah. So anyway, it pretty much kills Meruem, except Shia LaBeouf and Yuppie feed themselves to him to restore him, and he comes back.
But he has that radiation or the sickness from it.
Yeah,
So that's what I was trying to get to, but you
Poison.
guys keep fucking on my shit. Okay, so
I'm
like,
finishing your sentence.
okay, well, okay, chill for a minute. So like, they bring him back, right? And here I'm watching this, and I'm like, God fucking damn it! He finally dies,
yeah,
and they found a way to bring him back. This is stupid.
Yeah, that's
This
how
is
I
dumb.
felt too. I was like, God damn it, what the fuck?
But then you
How
remember
else-
this Hunter x Hunter. It's not Dragon Ball Z.
No, I know, but still, like, what the? Well, that's exactly why.
I'm throwing a lot of
'Cause
shade
it's-
at Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z.
No, I know, but that's exactly why I was like, fuck, right? There's no Dragon Balls to bring him back. There's nothing to, like, we're fucking dead.
Yeah,
We're dead. It's over.
Yeah.
But then afterwards, they explain the main part of the nuclear bomb is the fumes that come out of it. It's this poison that takes over your body and shuts down your body in a matter of hours. And so but for some people, for a normal person, maybe 1 hour less. And so as they return to the palace, Shia LaBeouf is trying to like get Komugi killed.
Right, because at the time
Well, Pito
when
healed her.
Yuppie and Poof resurrected Meruem again, Meruem kind of had like a slight amnesia where he didn't remember certain events and stuff. So, and there were certain things that kind of triggered his
Oh,
memory
they were trying
back.
to hide the
Yeah, they
the
were.
Game Board
Poof was
pieces.
trying to
Yeah.
hide Komugi so that Meruem wouldn't remember that whole aspect because Yuppie and Poof didn't like how the king was changing from being like this ruthless killer to like this sympathetic creature for humans and stuff like that.
Yes. And so they realize, Meruem, being as smart and genius as he is, he realizes something happening like, okay, I think this is the end. I think we're done here. Like, this isn't going to work. And so he talks to Welfin, and Welfin gets scared so much that he ages like 50 years and loses all his hair. And basically, he's like, tell me where Komugi is, and I won't kill you, or whatever.
Well,
And
yeah.
so,
Never mind.
yeah, it's more confusing than I'm
It's
saying.
kind of,
but like,
Wolfen kind of, like, in fear, he kind of just literally said Komugi's name in front of the king, and pretty much Meruem got all his memories back and was all like, okay, where's Komugi?
That
I need
part.
to find her. And Palm and the octopus guy was hiding her, and then Meruem finds Palm in the closet in like that secret lair or whatever, and pretty much Palm tells Meruem where Komugi is, and Meruem and Komugi play Gungi until both of them die,
yeah,
and that's that.
because the fume is contagious.
Yeah.
Well, Meruem didn't even learn his name until Netero told him.
Right. That was like
Oh, yeah.
that was like a hostage
That was the
kind
last
of
words
thing.
he said to him.
That was fucking sick, dude.
He's like, dude, I'm gonna die, and I'm about to take you with me, so I'll tell you your name. It's Merwin. Oh shit!
I'm about to tell your name. It's Sally.
Yeah.
It's Gemeric's Tactheratrix.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you your name. It's Nucleus. No, dude. Yeah, and they both die. They die playing Gungi together. And
Dude, I love the transitions for pretty much every episode of Hunter x Hunter. Like the opening and the ending themes transition so well.
yeah,
Especially the ending themes. The ending theme is like some of the best transitions.
yes. And so I don't know if we really want to talk about this last arc. It's just because Netero died,
Well-
they have to
Yeah, the Hunter chairman Hunter chairman election.
But also the other part of it is Killua trying to restore Gon because he's on life support.
And they find Jing. They find Gon's dad.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't he just shows up, right? Doesn't he?
Well,
because
because
he's one of the
part
Zodiacs.
of the Zodiac.
Yeah. And there's which again, like there's so many things this whole thing is pretty much a prologue. All 148 episodes, if you think about it, are a prologue because they haven't even gone to the Dark Continent. And the Dark
He's
Continent,
gonna bring that
Oh
up.
my
I knew
god,
it.
everyone take a shot. Jesus freaking Christ.
dude, the Dark Continent possesses both qualities of rubber and gum. Okay,
Okay.
unbeatable.
Before we like really get into this arc, I have to say this arc was honestly my personal favorite.
What?
I enjoyed this arc
Okay.
a lot.
The election arc?
Huh?
The election arc?
Yeah. The election arc along with like
Danny's like ranked choice voting.
Well, Killua going back home and picking up
Alaka.
Alaka, yeah.
Oh, she's actually the strongest human in the world because she can grant any wish, but she's cursed by
There's
a Dark
consequences
Continent
for it
monster.
though.
Yeah, but like you could just ask her to kill Miriam and she could do it.
She could have, yeah. Well, that's what I like about Hunter x Hunter 2, right? Is that there's consequences for all these really powerful fucking things.
Yeah, it's like a monkey
Yeah.
paw.
Right.
She's like a monkey paw genie.
Yeah.
But that's the whole
Yeah,
thing
dude.
with Alaka is because the Zoldyck family, I mean, there were rules for that too, and the Zoldyck family doesn't want society to know about Alaka's ability because a lot of bad
Oh,
things
yeah, they
can
just get
happen
attacked.
with that. So,
Oh yeah, like the whole world could end. Yeah.
right. That power can definitely go into the wrong hands. So,
Or, and this is a plus side to Dragon Ball, you could order a delightful pair of panties. The softest pair of panties.
mm,
Guys remember that? Oolong?
yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
do.
What a great wish.
Yeah, dude. Also, what I like about Alaka is, they didn't explain this in the show very well, but I think that she's like AMAB. She's assigned male at birth,
Yes.
but
Yeah, because
Yeah,
part
Killua-
part of the Zoldyck family pronoun, like they use he, and Killua is practically the only one that says she to Alaka.
because that's what she prefers,
Right.
and it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wait.
Killa's the only one who respects it.
Okay, wait. Okay. So is the entity that possesses... which one is Alka? It's a she, right?
Alaka is Killua's sister.
But
Something.
then people are calling them he?
Because Alaka is assigned male at birth. Yes.
Okay. Oh, but then okay, she because of it's got to be because of the entity that's possessing Alka, right?
Maybe, but even
That's probably it.
But even when she is Alaka, she still answers to she though. So like
Yeah.
they don't explain
I could
it
be wrong.
really.
Yeah. And actually,
They
that's how all trans people are. They're possessed by Dark Continent entities.
Stop.
Yes, I am possessed
Exactly,
by. I am possessed by a dark. Yeah, that's when I came out of the closet. I was like, oh my god.
I mean, turns out Hunter x Hunter is just a prequel for reality.
yeah, Chimera ant, one of my favorite genders. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a koala.
I'm a fucking koala chimera. No, dude, and yeah, it's really cool. So like part of the election arc, it's like divided in there's like an A plot and a B plot. There's Killua fighting against his family to take Alaka out of the house.
And then there's the election.
And then there's the election. And excuse me. It's just like a big hubbub. And they're trying to elect the next chairman, which in my opinion, I thought that part was dumb. All I cared about was like them saving Gon and all that stuff. It's kind of the election part of it is kind of important though, I guess, because it's how Jing comes into the picture and how Jing and Gon end up in the same place, you know?
And Jing got punched in the face by Lucario.
Leorio, yeah. Because Leorio was like, "Why haven't you visited Gon yet? What's your problem?"
Yeah.
And then he comes and Jing is like, "Well, I'm busy. I don't know."
Yeah.
And so Leorio reveals like his new Nen ability, which is like he can punch one part and portal the punch somewhere else. So he punches the ground, and then the punch comes up in front of Ging's like seat and like punches him in the face. It's awesome. Which of course we all know that Jing let him do that. It wasn't like because Jing is really powerful.
And then all of a sudden, Leorio is like the top 3 candidates for being chairman.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, dude, nice," and then they
he's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of funny.
He's got the best gaffs.
So there's all these like obstacles that Killua has to get through because his family doesn't want him to take Alaka out or whatever, and Illumi and Hisoka are like trying to assassinate Alaka. Well, Ahsoka is trying to like pretend that he's on Illumi's side.
Right.
But really, he's like,
I really
not
want
doing
to
everything
save
he could
Gon.
do. He's like, I need Gon to stay alive, though.
Yeah,
so let's just
I
pretend.
bet
like
Hisoka
I'm doing
has been hired by Jing to train Gon. There you go. Tinfoil hat.
Okay. Anyways, since Nick hasn't read anything and he's too busy with the Dark Continent,
Right?
just gonna let him. Yeah. Go
I
on
just
with it.
speculate. I don't read about it.
Yeah, he doesn't read. He doesn't read until he's actually in the manga club meeting.
While he's reading it.
Yeah.
Hey, then I can remember what happened. All right.
So then, so yeah, basically, I don't know. This is kind of my least favorite arc. The only part I really care about is Alaka, to be honest. But what did you guys like about this one?
Dude, it's been so long since I watched this arc.
Sure.
I'm probably right there with you. This one and the Zoldyck one are my 2 lowest ones, but they're all worth watching. This one did have Leorio in it, and Jing, and then it ends, and you learn about the the seedling tree? What do they call that?
The world tree.
Just the world tree, but it is a seedling. The one that they're on is like a seedling.
Yes. Yeah. Jean said that a true world tree actually grows in like magma or something like that, and it can grow 10 times its height or something like that.
Yeah. So, and that's really interesting that you say that, and this actually will lead to what Nick's been yelling about this whole time.
Yeah.
The Dark Continent.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and say this, right, and get past it because it's not really that important in my opinion. I mean, you can watch it if you want. I think it probably goes faster in the manga, but they get Alaka to heal Gon, and then Gon like sees Jing, and instead of like hugging him, he starts crying right away and goes, "Jing, I lost Kite, and all this stuff happened, and blah blah blah, and I turned Kite into a girl, and Kite gets reborn as a chimera ant, but it's like a girl, and
he's a little lolly now.
She's a lolly now, and so then he heals up. He's good. They elect a new chairman, and then he resigns and makes
Cheadle the new chairman, and she was fucking
she's like a
pissed
mouse girl.
about that.
She's so cute. She's so cute though. And so then Gon goes to talk to Kite, the new Kite, and he basically is like, "I'm sorry," and she's like, "GG sneeze," and then they're Gucci gang, and then he goes back to talk to Jing, but then Jing leaves a note that says, "I'll be at the top of the world tree." And so he climbs the world tree, and then the last episode of Hunter x Hunter is they finally sit down and talk to each other. and tell them everything that's been happening, going on in their fucking lives and shit. And this is like the moment that this is literally what Gon's been like going for this whole entire time. And he finally gets it. And so he asked Jing, he's like, Jing, what the fuck is your problem? Like, what do you want? And he's like, I want what's not in front of me, dude. And he's like, what the fuck does that even mean? And he basically tells him, he's like, this is the world tree, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, what do you know about it? He's like, well, it's the tallest tree in the world. And he's like, well, you're kind of right. Except that this is a sapling. It's not even fully grown. It stopped growing because it didn't get all the nutrients it could. See, an actual world tree, like in what Danny said, like it takes nutrients from like magma and everything of the earth. Everything. And that's when he realizes, do you know where the ants came from, dude? They came from somewhere. Not of this world.
It's because they spilled wine on the carpet, and that's how you get ants.
So anyways.
Like an archer.
Anyways. God, fucking Nick. Anyways, so like, he basically tells Gon, like, what you know of the world, what you see on the world map, is not the whole thing. It's not. He doesn't say those exact words, but he basically says that. And so
Hey, shit.
And before Gon climbs the world tree, him and Killua separate. You know, they promise to meet up later at some point, but they separate. And he talks to Jing, and Jing was like, so, you know, that goal is cool and everything. But the most important part of the goal is the stuff you meet along the way.
Yeah,
Like you know, those things become more important than the things you want. And so then Gon thinks about like Killua, he thinks about Leorio, he thinks about Kurapika, thinks about Kite, he thinks about everyone he's met. And he kind of flashes back through all like the show and stuff. And that's like the end of the show. And so this kind of just goes back to our like conversation in the beginning when Danny was explaining her stance on it, on the ending. Because when I watched it, my thought process was, again, it was like, okay, they're making this seem like that's like the end of the whole story, but I know that there's manga after this. It goes past this. So why are they making the anime like this? Did they know? You know, they knew Togashi was going on more breaks and more frequent breaks and stuff. But like does it really end in the manga this way? Because like they're making this seem like this is the end of the whole entire thing. And then sure as shit, that actually is how it is in the manga. Because this is like the end of Gon and Killua's story. And you see some after image things. They reveal that Komugi and Miriam were holding hands when they died. They show Kurapika in the middle of this room in possession of 9 jars with Kurta eyes in them. He doesn't say anything. And then they show Leorio studying in a really fancy apartment, which is what he wanted, right? He wanted a lot of money. He wanted the fancy apartment. He wanted to become a doctor. And then it shows Killua and Alika just chilling. And then Gon, along with Ikalgo, Palm, and some other people, and Moral, and the new Kite are staring at this sunset that Gon takes a picture of and he sends to everyone else. And that's how it ends. That's all it is. And so the next arc, the Dark Continent arc, there's this being called Beyond Netero that is in the Dark Continent, and so the Zodiacs are like, well, what the fuck do we do? Because this is scary as fuck. And so Jing goes after him, and Jing is like, okay, I'm gonna fuck y'all up or whatever. But anyway, that's all it is. That's the end of Gon and Killua's story. Like, in the manga so far, from what I understand or from what I've read, Gon and Killua are not in the manga currently. It's like it centers around like Kurapika and the Zodiacs doing shit and Beyond Netero and the Dark Continent and all that other outside. It's basically like when in One Piece when they get to the New World. It's basically that. And so, yeah. To be honest with you, if you watch the 2011 Hunter x Hunter, all 148 episodes, you could just end it right there. Like if you take out the the image of Kurapika with the 9 Kurt's eyes and whatever, and some of that other extra stuff, it could literally just end right there, because the way this part is presented is like Gon and Killua are the main characters, and beyond this, they're no longer the main characters. So the 2011 show is a pretty concise like show. If they animate more of it, it'll be a different thing. You know what I mean? So I think Togashi wanted to end it here, but then thought maybe he had more to tell, and so he just continued telling more Hunter x Hunter stories.
Well, he wrote Hunter x Hunter piecemeal. He kind of made it up as he went along.
Yeah, kind of like Toriyama did with Dragon Ball Z.
Kind of like Miyazaki.
Yeah, and so like the thing about the Cell arc in Dragon Ball Z is that was supposed to be the last arc, and Gohan was supposed to be the new hero.
Should have been
and
the last
arc.
Shit.
it was supposed to, and then they ended it there, and then they were like, "Nah, we need more because Dragon Ball Z is popular," and so he just did more
because capitalism. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
And then he just did more, and then we ended up getting more, and then that's how it is now. And now they punked Gohan, and now they had to bring him back with this fucking new movie.
They could have made Gohan better. Like, if you're gonna write more, why don't you make Gohan cool? Like, they made him fucking lame as shit.
And then they were gonna do it again by turning him into Mystic Gohan.
Yeah, he was cool for a minute there.
And then he still had to get saved by Goku and Vegeta. It was stupid. Anyway,
we're really crapping on Dragon Ball today.
Yeah, I know. I can't. We can't defend it anymore. You know what I mean? But like, anyway, what I was gonna say is this: Hunter x Hunter, the 2011 show, is a perfect show on its own. I personally don't know if I even care about reading the manga beyond this. I thought I would. I might still. I don't know.
Dark Continent's cool, dude.
Shut up.
Yeah, I might. I don't know. But like,
here's what you should do, Sam. Go to YouTube and New World Review. It's this Australian guy, and he talks about Hunter x Hunter. He knows all about everything. Just click videos from him. It's cool.
I mean, I read the first, like 4 or 5 chapters of Hunter x Hunter last night, and God, the art is really bad at some parts in the beginning. Holy shit, it's so bad.
That's true for a lot of manga. A lot of manga has worse art than the anime, which is weird.
Well, like, and
most of the time it's the other way around.
I've never read the Yu Yu Hakusho manga. I don't know what Togashi was trying to like go for with like Gon's face in some parts, but there are some parts where Gon's like eyes are just completely off center, just completely bad. I don't know what he did there. I don't know, but anyway, I'll probably just read it starting from that arc if I decide to read it. Maybe I'll read the Chimera Ant arc just to watch that fight again, just because it was sick. But yeah, no, Danny, what did you, or just in general, Nick or
we
Danny,
gotta give some final ratings and thoughts.
Get some final thoughts and ratings.
Like a 2.5 hour fucking podcast.
When you guys are done with your final thoughts on the ending, we can go into ratings and shit.
You want to go first, Danny, or what?
I guess, yeah. Yeah, so in the beginning of this episode, I still stand by it. I still feel like the show is incomplete. I feel like there's still more to tell. Just because, we're introduced again to like is Gon, Killua, Kurapika, and Leorio, and we start to enjoy those characters, especially with Kurapika and with the Phantom Troop and everything. And he has a goal, he has a vendetta. He wants to get the Scarlet Eyes back to avenge his clan and his family and everything like that. Great, awesome, but we never actually see that moment actually happen. The only thing we see is Kurapika sitting in a room with all the eyes in front of him. How did he get them? I don't know. I would like to know how he got all of them. you know,
or at least have a hint of how.
like something,
A hint, anything,
something,
yeah.
just something. And you know, in the beginning when I first started watching Hunter x Hunter, I actually didn't really like Kurapika too much. He was actually one of my least favorite characters out of the four of them. I personally liked Leorio a little bit more, but then, Leorio barely showed up until, you know, the last arc. So he's still funny. He's the comic relief. But, you know, again...
He was in York New for a little bit, too.
Yeah. But again, like Leorio, I didn't feel a connection towards him. Whereas with Kurapika, I kind of grew into liking Kurapika because of his growth, especially when he learned his nen and, you know, all the fighting that he did with the Phantom troop and everything like that. So I started to like Kurapika. But then once that arc finished, you never saw Kurapika again. So...
Yeah, that's the problem with Togashi's writing style, is that he doesn't plan things out the way that some other writers do, where you have like a grand story and like George R.R. Martin. Like the problem with this is a totally different writer, Game of Thrones guy. He takes so fucking long to write his shit because he's trying to perfectly connect everything.
Right.
And that's not what we do in Hunter x Hunter.
Right. And that's the thing.
It's like kind of,
yeah,
you know.
And like, yeah, I appreciate a lot of the other characters that we were introduced in all the other arcs, like in the Chimera arc, you know, we got to see Knuckle and Palm and everything like that, and Moral and Nove and all those other characters who are great in their own aspect as well. But for this story, you know, primarily the four main cast is Gon, Killua, Leorio, Kurapika, and Hisoka. Those are the people that were introduced from the very beginning, and typically, quote unquote, those are the people that we care about. So the fact that we didn't really get a proper arc for Leorio and Kurapika was kind of like a jip, in my opinion. So for me, I'm like in the opposite direction of what Sam is. To me, this show is incomplete. So for me, I would really like to know what happens. So I will probably read the manga because I'm interested. Like this is a very fascinating story, and I really enjoy Togashi's writing, and because he really writes characters very, very well. Even his side characters, as you know, he gives them personality, and he makes you want to care about them too. So.
Okay, well, I think here's why you're a bitch. Because
fuck you.
Because we agree. It's just that I care about those characters so much that I don't know if I want to continue knowing what happens without them. And so I know Gon and Killua aren't going to be in it. So.
But we've gotten them for like 6 arcs. And we didn't
right,
and we only got Leorio for like 3.5.
No, that's fine. But I'm saying if you're gonna do a shonen like that, where like you take characters out early, or you know whatever, like if you're taking them out earlier. No, sorry, that's not what I meant. What I meant was if you take them out earlier, and he didn't really set it up to tell the story like this. Like that's which is like kind of like what Nick was saying earlier, is like he kind of was like doing it as he went, not like how George R.R. Martin would do it. Like it just is like. He didn't set it up well enough for me to be like to care about Kurapika again out of nowhere. You know what I mean? And so it just was kind of weird. You know, like you kind of made this whole thing about Gon for a long time. The whole reason the anime starts is because he wants to find his dad. And then now here he found his dad, and they did the whole thing, and he lost all his nen, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna write more. And so it's not that I'm the opposite. I agree with you 100% everything you just said. It's just that, like, what I said was, if you wanted, you could take out or ignore the scenes with, like, the Kurapika cliffhanger at the end, and it would just, like, you could just... Because they already forgot about Kurapika so long ago that it was just kind of like... Whatever.
I don't know.
Right? And we did see the Phantom Troop in the Chimera Ant arc. They took out the leftover bitches who left after the queen died in their hometown. And so, I mean, I am interested to know what happened, sure. I just don't know if I do read the manga, I'm just going to read from where it left off. You know what I mean? It's just that, like, I thought it would continue with Gon at least, you know, going to maybe traveling to the Dark Continent with Jing or something, or whatever, or retraining to get his Nen back or whatever. You followed Gon for too long, and then all of a sudden he's just not in it anymore. It's like, it's kind of like, you know, like, what if you did Yu Yu Hakusho all the way up to Dark Tournament, and then you had the Psychic Saga. Yeah, you had the Psychic Saga and the Demon World Tournament saga without Yusuke and Kuwabara. Like, it just was weird. You know what I mean?
And that's where I think Yu Yu Hakusho is better. The main cast has like better personalities.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I just think they're better acted too. Like,
sure.
Which, I mean, the Hunter and the dub is fine in the 2011. It's good, but
and I'm not saying that that's not cool, because, you know, then that means Togashi's doing something different. You know, like, it's just like he executed it kind of weirdly, in my opinion. It's like weirdly executed. I feel like if you were gonna tell a story,
well, it's like a bunch of separate arcs. Like, each arc is kind of separate.
Yeah. And you should have separated them, the characters, a little more than if that was the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should have had Gon find Jing earlier, and then maybe it follows Killua going into the ant territory and whatever. I don't know. Like, it just was like, it seemed kind of weird to me. So I would rather much prefer consider the 2011 show its own thing. And then if they were gonna make more of it,
it's a read
like,
the manga ending. That's what it is.
Yeah, right. If they were gonna make
12
more
episodes,
of the show,
148 episodes.
Right. If they were gonna make more of the show, then, you know, maybe it should be called Hunter x Hunter 2 or something. I don't fucking know. But, like,
Hunter x Hunter,
it's clear,
Dark Continent.
It's clear that you know, Hiroshi Kojima and, like, Madhouse planned to end it right here because they knew that's where Gon and Killua were gonna, like, this is where you're gonna see the last.
They
of
were
them.
caught up at that point, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
So, I mean, anyway, that's all. I'm sorry. I bogarted it. I just wanted to respond to Danny, but, like,
You both bogarted my time.
Sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
I had to go grab tissues anyway. My nose is dripping. What were we doing again?
Final thoughts on the ending.
Okay.
Or rating, yeah.
I think this is one of the better shonens that there is in anime.
I agree.
I guess it depends on your preference, because each shonen is slightly different, but
Sure.
they're the same but different. I think this is like in the top 5 easily for shonen. It's rated pretty high on my anime list too. It's up there. Where is it? Anyway, it's up in the top 50. Yeah, for Hunter x Hunter, like, the strongest points for me are, like, the ideas that it presents, like, in the Chimera Ant arc. It's just that's kind of the climax of the show is that whole arc. But just each, I'm trying to think of how to say this. I'm kind of like I'm kind of like zoned out at this point too. I just liked how they brought different ideas in each arc and explored them, but not. They didn't spend too much time on each one. It was almost like a different show for each thing, and except for Chimera Ant, that was a little bit longer than it needed to be. But
Sure.
it never felt repetitive. Like, the show was never repetitive.
That's a good point.
That's kind of the big strength of it. Let's see. Overall, it's just like really well. It's just like really well produced. Like, the fights are really good. The 1999 version, I can compare a little bit. I think the 99 Hunter x Hunter had a better art style, but it had worse animation, like movement. The movement wasn't as good as the 2011. But, like, the character design, art style, like, I prefer that more. But overall, 2011 is better. And just honestly, just watch 2011. It's fine. And they also pronounce his name Kahlua. They call him Kahlua in the dub. It's really funny.
Like the fucking cream
Yeah.
liqueur, yeah. Also, Hisoka has like green hair, doesn't he?
I don't fucking remember. Don't ask me about colors. I don't know hair color.
So
Well, I
I
mean,
think
Anyways.
I think Hisoka has green hair during the Hunter exam, but then it turns red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he changes it. But yeah, so it's just like the things that they bring forth that like make you think. Like the whole Nen system makes you think. That's one of the strengths of the show. It's like, oh, what kind of Nen would I have? Oh, I would have fucking bucket powers or something. Like
Bucket powers.
my Nen would be what is it? Is Zetsu the one where you just like don't think about stuff? What's Zetsu? Mine would
Zetsu's
be
an
Operation
advanced technique.
Unthink. I would not think. I would become invisible like the fucking ant. Yeah, the ideas, the Nen system, the fights. The characters are good too. I liked all the main cast. I liked all the side cast. I think that's a big one. The side characters were all very well fleshed out. They felt real. They felt like they had their own stories, but you didn't necessarily need to tell every story, you know. But
Sure.
yeah, the weakness of the show is that it's not. They don't bring all the characters through each arc, and everything isn't as interconnected as it could be. And that would be the downside. And then also the ending, like they end like the big arc for Gon and Killua, especially Gon, but it does feel a little bit like a read the manga type ending. But yeah, that's really the only main complaints I have. And then Chimera Ant's a little bit too long. But other than that, it's a really, really good shonen, and everybody should watch it. I'm just going to give my score now. Originally I gave it an 8. I could probably bump it to a 9. If I watch it again, I might do that. But yeah, as far as shonen goes, it's one of the best ones. It's if you're gonna watch a shonen, just start with this. Fuck it.
What about you, Danny? What do you give it?
So,
And
first,
for me, an 8 is a high score.
okay. I do want to plug one YouTuber out real quick. Totally Not Mark. He does a really good deep dive Hunter x Hunter review, and he kind of flip-flops between 2011 and the 1999 and also the manga, which is very interesting. So check him out if you're really
I think I stumbled on one of his.
if you really want a deep dive of Hunter x Hunter. He does an excellent review on it. And some of the points that he makes, some of them I also agree on. But I am giving Hunter x Hunter an 8. It's not totally a 9 for me. Again, it's, to me, in my opinion, it's a little bit incomplete. And there are some areas that I was just not really caring about. I'm kind of with Nick with the whole Chimera Ant arc. It was just way too long.
I think it's the best arc, but also the worst arc. It's both.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. There were some parts where I was just like, this is cool. But then there were some parts where I was just like, why is this here? I don't understand. Like, did they have to put this here?
Yeah.
I don't think this was really necessary and everything like that.
Yeah.
So,
One thing we didn't mention is each arc gets progressively darker.
Yeah.
Overall, maybe Greed Island isn't quite as dark, but like it's Chimera Ant is like really dark for a shonen.
Yeah. It's pretty ruthless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I give it an 8. It's good. I would probably definitely.
I would consider that great. 8 is like, for me, 8 is like in my top 10%.
Yeah.
Of anime.
You know, it could. I mean, I guess in retrospect, if I really wanted to be critical, it could be a 7.5. But
how dare you?
But I mean, I still enjoyed it, so it gets an 8 for me. Again, there are still flaws within it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. It's an 8.
I don't think there's any show that I've seen that's flawless.
Yeah.
I like
I
like the flaws in shows. It makes it feel real.
I am exactly with Danny and Nick on for all the same reasons. I love it. It's so creative. It's so interesting. The animation and storyboarding were really good in the 2011 version. You know, I can't speak for the 99 version. Looking at images of the 99 version, I do love this art style.
The still images look good, but they do take a bunch of shortcuts. And then on top of that, they also have the old-timey, like, I think they cheaped out on the Foley effects in the 99 version.
Right. And also, they're going off, like, the colors of the characters by black and white images. You know, I don't think Togashi, like, gave them a clue on what their actual
he told
colors
them.
were.
He had to have told them.
Well, because, I don't know, maybe they changed it then, because Hisoka's got green hair throughout the whole thing, it looks like. And the one examiner hunter person with the big fat guy, and they have to do, like, the cooking and the big pigs or whatever, she's got, like, pink hair, but then in, like, the 2011 version, she's got green hair, I think. And the one
maybe they ran out of paint.
The fancy bitch daughter has pink hair in the 99 version, and then blue hair in the... Anyway.
None of that matters at all.
No, none of that matters
Sorry,
at all.
but it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I was making a comparison to the 99 version, and then you went off, and then I had to tell you to shut up.
I've interrupted a lot. I'm getting antsy because we've been sitting here for too long.
It's Danny's fault. That being said...
What the hell?
Yeah, for the same reasons. There's a lot I don't like about it. There's a lot that kind of annoys me about it, but it's so creative and well done. 8 out of 10, I think. I think maybe those reasons I dislike it might be different than Danny's and Nick's, but that doesn't matter because we all scored it pretty close or pretty much the same. Anyway, I think it's really creative. I give it an 8 out of 10. And
all right, there we
I'm
go.
probably gonna read. I don't know. I'm probably gonna read the rest of it just to see what happens.
The sound we didn't really mention that much either. The music is great. OPs and EDs are great. In one of our ED episodes,
OP and ED by now.
In one of our ED episodes, I picked the second ending theme. I think it was like the York New theme as one of my favorite endings.
Yeah. I've put them in here, so hopefully you heard them now. But the OP is the same throughout the whole thing, and yeah, the EDs are the only things that change.
Well, the OP has different animation. Like they change it in the Ant arc and stuff like that, or for each arc actually.
They change the opening animation with each arc, and it does change. It does slightly change when that Ant arc starts into a version 2 version of the song. It's the same song, but just like different mixed differently, and it's a different verse and it's mixed differently. Yeah, different beat on it, but yeah. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think we all liked it a little bit.
A little bit.
Kind of. Killua is my favorite character. I change my favorite character every month, so I don't know. They're all the characters are so good. Kind of like what Nick was saying earlier. Like each character has like, it's just like, even some like the side characters or the arc specific characters are just really cool. So.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Hisoka maybe. I don't know. They're all really good. I like the shitty guy at the beginning, the rookie crusher.
Tanpa, yeah. I like Meruem a lot. He's like one of my favorite characters. Like he's.
Oh yeah, he's one of the coolest villains in anime, to be honest.
Yeah, no, for serious, yeah, for sure. But yeah, this was our first long show review, and we don't know which one we're gonna do next. We've been kind of talking about it, but
we'll iron out the kinks next time.
Yeah, we'll iron out the kinks next time, and we're probably gonna have to, figure that out. But yeah, let us know, if we think we should go a different way about it, or if you have some suggestions.
We could do like a non-spoiler, spoiler.
We should have done a non-spoiler spoiler section with this, but we didn't because we were just like, anyway, Netero dies.
Yeah,
yeah. But that being said, I love you guys very much. Hope you had a lot of fun. I will be sure to put a disclaimer at the beginning of this to let you know it's spoilers. But yeah, thank you for listening. every week. I've been Sam. That's been Danny. That's been Nick. And this has been the Anime Summits